Buff Nation, what up? BWB, my bandwagon buffs. What it is, what it does, and what it's gonna be. It's your man's Harry Billion. Family, welcome to the Liberian Perspective. Welcome to TLP at noon. All right. Please do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. Make sure to give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you can get the videos as soon as it uploads to YouTube. Hey, family, I got to go ahead and start this live stream. So that's all the business I got. You know what time it is. Let's work. Welcome, family, to the live, okay? TLP at noon. Welcome to this show. It's going to be a good show today. I just want to tell you straight out the gate that I got this idea of today's currency. Do you want to win with attention, or should you win without? That idea came from, I believe it was the show called Speak. All right. I was listening to this show. They were having a discussion, and I like that idea. So I figured today's show should be about just that. Let's talk about what is today's currency? We're in a whole new era of college football. There's a lot of new people here. Okay? Lots and lots of new people here, and primarily because of Deion Sanders, who's known as Coach Prime. Okay? And if you don't understand or know what Coach Prime means, Deion Sanders himself, when he was about to go to the NFL, he wanted more money. So he created Prime Time, or the nickname that was given to him when he was playing basketball. He used that nickname to create a persona to help him to make more money as a DB in the NFL, because at the time, DBs weren't really making that much money. So he created this persona, all right? Like Beyonce has Sasha to help her, when she's on stage, because she's somewhat shy otherwise as Beyonce. So when she becomes Sasha, she's flash, she's ready to do her thing, she can kill, she can slay, do all of that. So Prime came up with what Deion Sanders came up with, Prime, to help push that persona that was inside of him, to bring it out more, to be more of a showman, to be more of a salesman, so that he can garner all of the NIL deals that he could get. At the time, it was not called NIL, okay? It was just an image thing that he was doing. He's like, this image, I got to create this so that I can make as much money as I can make. So that was his currency. That's what he came up with. So he is so popular. Deion Sanders is so popular that he himself is a currency. But today's hyper media focused environment, place that we are in now, is it okay to just win, or you need a little bit of attention as well? We're going to discuss that on today's show. But let me not be rude. Let me greet my guests that are joining the show today. All right. What's going on, everybody? Hey, what up with you? X-Men in the building. All right, East Coast. Cav, what up with you? Peter Investor, what up with you? Welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you for joining me today on today's show. All right. Today's show, as I just pretty much broke down, all right, I had to break down the history of Coach Prime, or how he became Prime, because it's kind of like, it's what this show is about today. Today's show, is it enough to just win football games, or do you need a little bit of swag, which is kind of like the Deion thing, okay? The thing that's going on, okay? It's like the Prime effect, the Deion effect. A lot of schools are clamoring for that effect, for that attention. So I want to talk to you guys today, or I want us to have a discussion about the whole idea of just college football, period. Back in the day, winning was okay. But today, it seems like you need a little bit more than just winning. So let's discuss that. What up with you guys? Okay, so yes, sir, Kev, you're back. So we're gonna discuss this today. Now, Coach Prime, whether you want to believe it or not, however you want to, flip it, Coach Prime has changed college football, and I believe it's forever. Okay, he has put his stamp on college football forever. But before we get deep into the conversation, especially if you are watching on the recast or if you're watching it after the actual live, I want to let you know, guys, that we're going to be discussing some topics. Join the conversation, but obviously you're not going to be able to do it as we go live. But I want to know what is going on today. Let me just give you a quick recap of what has transpired, all right, around the Buffs, some of the moving pieces that happened overnight, maybe some videos you already seen, but somebody who's watching was not privy to the information that was of yesterday, because after the season, so many things are transpiring. So many things are going on around the Buffs, and it's happening very quickly. Is it quickly or very quick? Somebody let me know. All right. So things are happening fast. Okay. So by the time, like sometimes we're on the live, we're doing the show, and then we get breaking news. Something just transpired. Usually I would have my AI on my phone and I will be getting notifications. But obviously, while I'm doing the show, some of those things I'm not able to get to and do the video. So the good thing about that is a lot of you guys also have some type of check on what's going on out there. And you guys let me know in the chat that, hey, Harry B, this just happened. And then while it happens, I peek down and I see, hey, oh, wow, somebody said something yesterday. Cantrell was letting us know that we was getting maybe a coach that was going to be coming over from an ex-NFL lineman that kind of has some connections with some hogs. We got that information. So if you know anything that's going on while we are doing the show, while we are in the chat, hit me with that information and we can go ahead and break that news while we are doing the show. So if anybody knows anything that's going on yesterday, please let me know in the chat. If you know something that I didn't pick up on yesterday as I give this update of yesterday, let me know, okay? So the biggest one is obviously Sean Lewis, okay? Sean Lewis is the former head coach of Kent State, who Coach Prime brought over to be the offensive coordinator, and the offensive coordinator's job is to come up with the plays. He's the guy that designs the plays, and he calls the plays. That's the guy that's on the sidelines that's doing all the little gang sign hand motions. It's not gang signs. It's just hand motions to kind of confuse the other, to call out plays, but also to confuse the other guys as well. Sometimes they'll mix it up and do some weird thing. All right? So that's Sean Lewis's job, to call the plays. He works with the offense to make sure that the offense is either moving really fast, some slow, whatever. Sean Lewis has a new job at San Diego State. He will now be the head coach. The moving part was that Danny O'Neal was a quarterback that he brought on, that he recruited to come on for CU. Danny O'Neal, prior to Sean Lewis's announcement that he was going to be at San Diego State, Danny O'Neal did decommit. All right. And I believe he's probably going to be going to Sean Lewis or play with Sean Lewis. All right. East Coast says maybe you can, let's see here. Good morning, my friend. Your nickname, Run the Football. Yes. Big Dog. Big Dog G's. That's right. Thank you. Yay. What happened? You took my straw out? What happened? I can't use that. I need the white straw, the big one. Oh, okay. All right. So maybe you can confirm a lot of those business around Boulder were going to close. Coach Prime's presence changed that. Oh, okay. So I didn't know about businesses that were going to close. So that's not information that I was privy to. So I'm not going to be able to confirm that, Kev. maybe you guys can share some information. If you know about a specific business or businesses that we're going to close, let me know, and we can share that with the doing the show. But I'm sure, but we all know that Coach Prime definitely changed the local economy in Boulder. I know that for sure because I'm not sure if you guys seen the interviews that I did in Boulder, especially on Pearl Street, where I interviewed some of the local businesses, some of the guys in the pizza shop, and it was like, yeah, it's definitely making an effect. People are more excited. Things are going on in Boulder, and he's really changed the energy there in Boulder. So there's a lot of different things that happen within the local economy, but it's specifically businesses that we're going to close. I'm not familiar with. So share that if you can. All right. So we are so it's believed that Sean Lewis is going to take that quarterback commit, Danny O'Neal, and he's probably going to be, he was a quarterback's coach before. So if he recruited him, he probably knew that he was going to San Diego State, and he's going over there so that, he can play for him. I'm not sure if he's going to be a starter, but that doesn't matter. And then obviously you guys know there was some movement. The first person to go right after the last game was Coach Brew. Tim Brewster resigned. Now Tim Brewster is in North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I believe he's in North Carolina, and he has a new team. And let me get that information quickly for you. All right, Tim Brewster's new team. This is going to be in the city of Charlotte. All right. So 49ers football. He's going to be coaching the in Charlotte with the 49ers. All right. So Tim Brewster was not going away. I know we talked about it on one of the live shows that Tim Brewster maybe just wanted to go home. Maybe that was correct, but he was not retiring. Tim Brewster, he's going to Charlotte, North Carolina to coach another school there, and he's going to be part of that football team. I'm going to share that with you currently. I got this screenshot from another show. All right, so right there on your screen, guys, you see at Tim Brewster. Man, you talk about impressive at the Biff Poggy. This guy, wow, the city of Charlotte, buckle up because Biff and Brew ready to roll. Go 49ers. All right. So Coach Brew takes a new position with Charlotte 49ers football team. So he is going to be coaching the Charlotte 49ers, and he went back to North Carolina for sure, but that's where he's going to be at. That's an update for you. Tight ends coach is both O-line and receivers coach. Okay. All right. So does anybody have any other update to add? That was kind of like what the biggest news that happened yesterday. Okay. So if anything's going on that you are aware of that I'm not updating us, let me know so that I can go ahead and update everyone that's watching, especially if you're just joining the chat or you're watching this in the repost. All right. So Charlotte, that's Mr. Tim Brewster, Coach Brew. All right. Coach Prime's guy went all the way to from Jackson State, came all the way from Jackson State with Coach Prime. They're very close friends. That was confirmed yesterday with, by someone in the chat. I forget the name, so forgive me for that. But now he's in Charlotte, and he's going to be coaching in Charlotte. Okay, so the reason why he left, I don't know. I don't know why he would be the first guy to go. Because I don't know. Can you guys tell me whether The tight ends, there was an issue with the tight ends because I don't know that we had issues with tight ends because it's not Coach Brew that decides which players get to play because I don't remember us using a tight end the way that they're supposed to use the tight ends, especially to protect Shador. I don't remember them using. I know that we try to highlight that we were wondering like why they're not putting a tight end right there to be an extra man to block. Because what I know from football about tight ends, they're usually for blocking. That's what I know about tight ends. For the most part, a tight end is going to block, and then if nobody gets open, he just kind of like step outside of the pocket, catches the ball, get 5 yards, maybe. That's the most that a tight end does. I did not see that here with Colorado during the season. I didn't see that. So it was a new thing, okay? Maybe this fly high offense that they were trying to do, maybe that it was not conducive for a tight end use. But there was a lot of weird things that were taking place, like not running the ball, just keep throwing. Like my man would have called me, my nickname is just keep run, just run. Yeah. And then the uses of the tight end, that was a little weird for me. I was seeing a lot of, that's why I was like, wait, I know college is different, but come on now. Like, can we just do some NFL stuff to make the game a lot simpler? Do you know that Shador would have been a whole lot more effective if we just played regular football? We didn't use the tight ends the right way. Oh, man. Peter Investor says CP prefer wide receivers to catch the ball in the fast offense. I mean, whether you prefer wide receivers to catch the ball or not, you want somebody to catch the ball. You can't go 3 and out. Whatever your preferences are, I think you go with the flow of the game, just like Shador does. They do the RPO, the run pass option because whatever Shador's reading, whatever the defense is giving him, that is exactly what he's supposed to react to. So you can't come into the game with preconceived things and say, oh, okay, boom. I don't care what happens. I'm doing this. It's cool because you're supposed to trust your process. But if the game is going in a certain direction, you want to kind of flow with the game so you can win the game. Whatever they're giving you, you're going to have to counter react those things that the defense is giving your offense so you can win. So I don't know. I mean, I don't care who catches the ball. I'm not going 3 and out. If my daggone running back is open, I'm throwing him the ball so I can get the first down, regardless of if I want the wide receivers to catch the ball or not. But that's kind of weird. So there's a lot of weird things that was going on. All right, Shiloh, let me see what you're saying here. TLP, I believe Coach Prime changed his tactics. I think that's what you meant to say. Now he's saying they need NIL money, but before he said we're not an ATM. I believe that CU needs some serious help. No joke. Well, yeah, that was another show. We talked about that. Show me the money. That we talked. That was not yesterday's show, but yeah, we talked about the whole NIL deal and him changing his stance on that for sure. Yeah, so yes, another update, Kev. So Caleb Ferreira, he did. I think we talked about that in yesterday's show. Caleb just jumped into the transfer portal. Y'all remind me the linebacker was it Ham that jumped into the transfer portal. I forget his name, but y'all remind me. We did have a linebacker that jumped into the transfer portal. We had a whole situation where somebody was like, "Yo, if your safety Trevor Woods is being pulled to be the linebacker, you know you got a problem, right?" So now he's moving to Central Michigan. So that was another update, but I forget his name right now. You guys can tell me, and I can just say that quickly. Sean Lewis was never for Coach Prime. Like he was gonna be he was gonna go regardless. Yeah, I mean that was the thing. We all know that Sean Lewis was not gonna stay, but nobody knew that it was gonna transpire the way that it transpired. So that whole relationship kind of just blew up. There were differences, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, like you have 5 head coaches in the kitchen. When you have so many chefs in the kitchen, somebody's going to want the meal to be seasoned a different way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there was a lot of head coaches in that locker room. So, and Sean Lewis being one of those previous head coaches, I'm sure they had their differences that Sean Lewis just couldn't overcome. Some of the ways that he wanted to communicate, some things that he wanted to do, I'm sure he was not able to do it because Coach Prime wanted to do other things. So that was something that probably caused him to, not stay the way he was. Okay, but let's get into this car. Let's get into the show, guys. That's enough of the updates. Let's get into the show. Now, today, currency. This is something we need to talk about because college football has changed. NIL is major now. Money in football is huge. So, with all the money, you're gonna need to market a little differently. Don't know if you guys actually watched off script. I think that's the name of the YouTube channel, Off Script, where Bucky did a live interview. I'm sure most of you were part of that, or some of you were part of that, where he was answering a bunch of questions, and they were talking different things. Something that came up was Coach Prime's grade, Shador's grade. We're going to get into all of that, but let's talk about today's currency. We're in the new age of football, of college football, all right? We are now experiencing behind the scenes. We are experiencing something that Coach Prime and his team, they came up with. His son is leading the charge, giving us live footage, behind the scenes, raw footage. And he's giving us an experience that college football has never seen before. That experience has made it possible for the exposure that was created for Colorado this season. So that exposure, it came with some negatives and some positives. That exposure caused Colorado to get into the eyes or in front of the national media, and for everybody to be talking about Colorado. And it was mostly because of Prime, Deion Sanders. I set this up in the opening of the show. We know what Prime means, and we know what Deion is. Okay, Deion created Prime. So, with that being said, we now have a new era that is now in college football. You barely knew the coaches, or you barely knew about teams that were just regular good teams. You heard about the top teams that kept winning them, but you barely knew about just winning programs. So, do you think in today's college football, the currency of today, the attention that Coach Prime created, is that enough? Would you, I'm going to post the question, all right, would you prefer to win without attention or to lose with attention? What do you think is most important? Okay. The man above I call cap, bro. You lying. Okay. Tell me what I'm lying about, please. I want to know what I'm lying about. Because I barely said anything yet. We're barely into the show, so tell me what I'm lying about. I recapped, and then I said, let's get into the show. So tell me what I'm lying about. Cap. All right. KMS says, hard to interact with shows like this because so many people don't understand the concept of football and what it consists of. KMS, I mean, you here? Let's talk. Like, what do you mean? So, I want to make sure that people have the opportunity to voice. You know, this show is created to kind of talk about what happened last night. I do a noon show, and I believe I'm going to add another, let's say, nightly recap. Okay, but this noon show is to kind of get an idea to talk about what's happening during the day, yesterday, and just talk about those things, give you an opportunity to voice your opinion. And if you want to call in, the email is right at the bottom of your screen. It says hot tips for TLP sports at gmail.com. So you can call into the show. Email me. I will send you a link for the show, and then you can come on and voice your opinion. Sometimes it's hard to be typing, and I know a lot of you guys are probably at work, so you can't come on, so I understand that. But if you are able to come on, please let me know. Please email me, and then I'll bring you onto the show. But I like to get you going, bro. All love is all entertainment. Come on, don't do that thing, man. Like, why are you doing that? Like, you just want to get me all revved up or early on? Y'all don't do that. Come on, man. At TLP Sports Club, I'm just messing with you, brother. Love the content. Salute from Texas, Big Dog. The man above. Oh, man. With a name like a man above, you want to mess with people. Thank you, but anyways, I appreciate you. CP, okay, Peter Investor M says, CP is taking a playbook out of the Bible. He is attempting to make replicants of himself, a.k.a. disciples, you meant to say, I think? Okay, that's an interesting take. Disciples? I don't know. Okay, so I don't know what that means. You're going to have to break that down. But I think with your personality, based on certain things where if people like your personality, then it kind of like attach you. It's just something that God gives you. Something we all have this innate ability to either attract or be like, what do they call it? Like, what is a detractor? To just kind of be a repellent. Okay, a people repellent. If you have a good personality, some people are going to be drawn to you. Look around your office. There's that one person in your office that everybody's like, they stay away from. And then there's the one person in your office or around your company that everybody is always around their cubicle, either doing lunch or just kind of random times. You'll just see people come over to their cubicle and they'll just be leaning over, just having, casual conversations. That's just a thing that everybody has. You either have it or you don't. Okay. I think I meant this. I was thinking about the word vinegar. Don't be vinegar. All right. It's either honey where somebody can attract to you, or your vinegar where you're repellent. Okay. Peter meant to say disciples. Repeat what you said about the question you said, brother. I don't know which question you wanted me to say, but okay. So this is the question of the day. Hopefully this is what you're saying. Do you guys think, or do you prefer, what is your best interest? Is the attention more important than winning, or is winning more important? What would you rather have? Would you rather have a losing record with the most attention on you, or would you rather have the winning record with either little or no attention on you? That's the order of the day. That's what we're talking about today. Because Coach Prime, he has the losing record, but he also has the most attention. So, so is he winning or is he losing? That's the order of the day. Can you still win with attention even though you lost on the field, or it's a lose-lose with the attention? Because obviously it comes with the bad stuff as well. You get the bad stuff like you're a clown, okay? With the cameras comes a lot of negative feedback or negative attention. There's the positives where you get the kids that want to come here because they feel like they can get their shine. You ain't gotta be a star like Travis Hunter or Shador. You can be regular, but just do regular football stuff, and that will thrust you into the stardom. And you will have a fan. Let's say you are a guy that made 1 or 2 tackles a game that can, that will go on the stats, that will go on the stat sheets for NFL, and the NFL will get those stats, and somebody will be able to say, oh, this is your resume. This is what you did in college. You had, in your career, you had 20-something tackles. but it'll be something that nobody cares about. But at CU, with all of the attention, with the cameras, that currency helps you to become a star with your 1 or 2 tackles every game. Because there are a lot of guys that have 1 or 2 tackles on other teams that nobody is ever going to hear about. So I, again, post a question. The currency of the day, which is attention, the Shador. You see, if you saw the thumbnail, the Shador, the attention. Does that attention work with you or against you, or both? That's what the discussion is. KMS says you don't plan to lose in the center of attention. So okay, I didn't see the original thing. Because the man above says, Kev, what did you say? Let me see if I can find what you said. Okay, I can't really find what you said, but let me go ahead and post this up. Okay, he said, the man above says, Kev, East Coast Cav, facts. You give me the money if I'm profiting from the attention, LOL. Anything less than a natty, I'll take the money over all day. Okay, so another thing that came out was like, do you guys prefer to be rich and famous, or what was the opposite thing? It was either rich and famous, or rich with no attention, rich with no fame at all. All right, some of y'all would just take the money and you don't care if anybody knows about you, but you're fine with the money. Because college football is in this era right now. That's what we're talking about. College football is currently, because of Deion Sanders and his prime that he created, college football now has to look at and study what he's doing. Because, believe you me, Deion Sanders is going to find a way to win. And then Prime is going to come out. Right now, Prime is forced to become Deion Sanders and to be a little bit, calmer. But I guarantee you, Deion is a smart brother, okay? Because he was smart enough to come up with Prime. So Deion is smart. Prime is just the outward persona that lets you know, okay, I'm the man, He's boisterous, he's in your face. That's the Prime. But the Deion is the thinker, the businessman, the strategist. That's Deion Sanders. So trust me, people are trying to figure out, well, dang, how can I replicate this? I want a Prime too. Because if we can win with the attention, then it's like, poof, it goes crazy. It'll be out of here. Because, and you know that's why there's so much effort to stop him. Because he's a natural winner. He's been winning for a minute. Let me make sure I'm not ignoring you guys, what you're saying. Charlotte says, winning because winning is going to get you to the goal. Like, I believe winning going to open up doors. You can get all the attention you want, but people don't remember losing records. Okay, there are a lot of teams that have been winning forever, and we still don't know anything about them. Okay, so that's the question. Like, if you're okay with just winning and nobody knows about you, you're okay with being rich without being famous. Some people like, yo, I want to be rich and famous. If I got a lot of money, I want the world to know that I got this money, and I want to know that people know that I got this money. For some people, it's important. For others, it's not. I think where I'm at, I don't want the fame. I want the money. I can do a lot more, and I can be very effective in doing God's work with the money, and I can care less if anybody knew my name. That's where I stand at. All right? So, but when it comes to this football thing, when it comes to entertainment, I think if I'm an entertainer, I kind of want both. but I also would think I want the attention because I feel like with entertainment, the goal is to get paid. So if you're getting paid, then it's like, do I have to win to? I don't know. Do I have to win football games? I'm getting all this money. I'm good over here. I think if I continue, I can have both. Which Coach Prime is going to have? Oh man. All right, so let's see here. Rich and no fame every time. LOL. Generally, wealth for my family is way more important than a game for me. Understood that. Winning because your name would be money. So Shiloh the guy says winning because your name will be money. Okay, so you don't care about the attention. If you are just winning every year, if you are a successful team, let's say East Coast Cav, give me 1 second. Thank you so much. Let's say you're consistently like in Oregon. You have a winning program, but you never go to the Natty. But it's a winning program. Like you go 9-1, or not 9-1, but you go like maybe 10-2, or you're consistently going like 11-1. You are a very successful program, and nobody knows your name. But every year you've come very close. Like some of the teams in the NBA or the NFL, they have good records, and the coaches continue to win, but they never win the big one. But you don't care about that. I want to hear that from you too. All right, so East Coast Cav says, "Thank you so much for the thank you for the super chat. If winning was more important, then Texas A&M wouldn't have fired their HC. Prime garners attention, which brings money. Imagine if went to Texas. Imagine if he went to Texas. So yeah, that was another thing. I made a video about that. That was another thing because Texas, they fire their coach. All right, their coach, when the time that they fired him, he was 6-4, and that very weekend, he beat Mississippi State. He gave him like 52 points to like a single point, like a single score. So they fired him. They was like, we all about championships. We want bigger. We want attention. We want championship. We want to be in the national media. We want to be talked about. We need more attention. All right. So, so for them, winning wasn't everything. Being successful or just being okay with just success is not enough. They want some of that attention as well. Y'all, Harry, let's see. Y'all, man, what up with you? So thank you, East Coast Cat, for sharing that. Y'all, man says, yo, Harry, big up yourself, brother, and the TLP fan base. Okay, so I think something, maybe you copied and paste something, but it's coming in kind of weird. Love this fan base because they have a broader perspective on what's happening and not one-sided. East Coast wrong. All right, I don't know what that means. All right, so let me put this guy up. Peter Investor says, Harry B, Jim Harbaugh of Michigan mentioned something about a pay cut on this Sunday. So so he's trying to take a pay cut for more attention. Break that down for me. Oh, don't forget, guys, email me if you want to get on the show. Let me check the email. All right. All right. So excuse me, guys. Hot tips for TLPsports@gmail.com. So hot tips for TLPsports@gmail.com. I also put it in the description of this video. I did space it out so you don't get the letters wrong. But when you email me, don't put any spaces. You already know that, right? So you can go to the description, you get the email, but also it's right at the bottom of your screen. All right, so all right, so Jim Harbaugh. So please clarify that. What do you mean that he wanted to take a pay cut? Because wasn't it Jim Harbaugh that got a 3-game suspension because he was stealing signs? So let me know. But yeah, but Coach Prime has really changed the dynamics of college football. College football has money in it now. And you know what comes with, money is attention. The one thing that's going to come with money is attention. If everybody's writing about you, it's money. I did a whole video back in the early days when I used to take concepts and explain the concept and then say, this is it. Remember the Meghan Markle situation that I told you guys about? Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Headlines create power, and then the power with those headlines, it brings money. So for a lot of you who kept track of the whole story about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, the whole reason why they had to leave the monarchy was because they were garnering so much headline, they were getting so much attention. Like Meghan Markle can sneeze the title of a book that she wants to write. Like some of us are still thinking about writing books. She can just think of a title, say it out loud, maybe by mistake on a live show, on a live or something, put it out there into the world, and says it's coming. These are pre-sales, and the book will sell out. So attention brings money. A lot of these universities need money to run their programs. Coach Prime, with a losing record, was able to thrust his whole university in the limelight, bring a whole lot of money to Boulder, change that local economy, businesses booming, did all of that, even with a final record of 4-8. And no matter what, with the losing and everything, and while we should be focusing right now on who's going to be in the playoffs, who's going to finally get invited by those 13 board members, one with Condoleezza Rice on that board, who are they going to invite? I should be doing a show about that, but we're not. We're still talking about Prime. Everything that's happening with Prime is making headlines. A coach leave, breaking news. A student decommits, breaking news. We should be talking about college football right now. We should be talking about the playoffs. Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, the top 5. I've told you guys about that last show. Do you even know who's in the top 6? A lot of y'all probably don't care. We still want Prime news. Woo. Wait, the man above, stealing signs. You missed the news about Michigan. Was it Michigan or Michigan State? Not Michigan State, because Michigan State was Michigan State was Midnight Mail, and he got fired. So not Michigan State. Yeah, it was Michigan that Jim Harbaugh was suspended for. They had to put in the interim coach, and the interim coach won his first game, and he cussed out. He was like, I effing love my coach, Jim Harbaugh. So yeah, I'm definitely sure it's him. All right. Some things I can't remember because I'm live and stuff, but I know that, yes, that's Jim Harbaugh. Oh, okay. Shiloh said, hold on. Let me try to keep up with some of these things, guys. TLP, Danny Kennel went off on Deion Sanders' son, Bucky. Everything that Danny said was so true. All right. Tell me what he said, what he went off on, and we'll share it. Okay, Carolina boy 617. Carolina boy. Where's 617? Because I was 336. Where's 617? Greensboro, North Carolina, 336 in that area. 617? That's not Charlotte, is it? No. Charlotte's not 617. Where's 617? All attention was out of curiosity. I guarantee you that attention won't be the same next year. These networks don't want to be associated with a losing team. Carolina boy, I guarantee you it's going to be more. It is going to be more. Because what Prime is doing right now is doing another Louis marketing. Prime is coming out with a whole nother Louis marketing scheme. By the time he says it, it's already out of here. And the curiosity is now going to be all around. Can they really get it going? I don't know if you guys don't get it. Some of you guys don't get it. The curiosity is never going to die down. You know why? Because Prime is like, you have no idea who we're getting. By that time, you're like, dang, are they really going to get? Just tell me, Carolina boy, tell me. How many times you seen a Deion Sanders thumbnail and every fiber of your blood was like, dang, I want to click on it. It's going to get me again. They're going to get me again. Dang, they got me. Got him. Tell me, I'm telling you, that curiosity is never going to end. If he loses next year too, guess what's going to happen? It's going to be like, is this the year? Is this the year? It's not going to stop. Everybody wants Prime to either lose or win. There's a high interest in Prime losing or winning. And as long as that interest is there, it ain't going to stop. And then Bucky, he's recording everything. Oh my gosh, we got this new player. Every time something happens, somebody decommits, you want to click on the video. Why? Because it's Prime. Oh my gosh, this is it. Finally, he's losing everybody. Yes, he's losing everybody. Great. This is the time where he's crushed. He's out of it. And then, next thing you know, another news drop. Coach Prime just signed 10 beefy hogs from the Ivy Leagues. Coach Prime just signed Georgia linebacker from the transfer portal. And all of a sudden, it's like, we back again. Let's go. It's never going to end, Carolina boy. I'm telling you, bro. I'm a Carolina boy too. All right. So we both Carolina boys, and this Carolina boy is here to tell you, son. And son is New York thing, but son, I'm telling you, it ain't ever going to end. The curiosity is from Deion Sanders and his swagger. He's too swaggeristic to not be paid attention to. Everybody's still talking about him. How many decommits from Georgia, the number one team in the SEC for the past couple of years, won back-to-back championship? How many of their decommits have made headline news or has been breaking news? How many? I know that sometimes, okay, because they got so many that it's not really that serious that somebody decommits because they are like a juggernaut. So I get that. But breaking news because it's Coach Prime. Let's get that right. All right, let me not ignore y'all. Erica Ransom, what up with you, Erica? What up, Erica? I'm a Maryland dude too, so I'm not also a Carolina boy. I'm not only a Carolina boy, I'm also a Maryland dude, a DMV guy. What up, Erica? That's how we say Erica. It's either Erica or Erica. What up? Facts. 100% attention would be greater. CP is marketed. It's a massive marketer. The hype for next season is already being set up. Genius. Say that in my my fake Nigerian voice. He's a genius, oh. The man is a genius. What do you not understand? The man is a genius. Okay? He sets it up for you to eat it up. That's what it is. You're going to eat it up. I dare you to see a salacious Prime video and not click on it. You'll be like, nah, bro. What happened now? You're either going to be like, oh, Lord, he lost 3 people? Oh, it's over now. You'll click on it. No doubt you're clicking on that. That is the currency of the day. Coach Prime has created the currency of the day. He alone created the currency of the day. And the currency of the day is attention. Attention is the currency of today's college football. If you don't have attention, it's going to be very hard for you to do some of the things that you want to do in college football, especially if you're not one of the top teams. If you're not a big team, if you are a middle tier team in college football and you don't have attention, but you are a successful, what some people will call a successful team, a good record. Maybe you lose one. Maybe you lose 2 or 3. No, not 2 or 3. Maybe you lose like 1 or 2 games every season, but you never can get over that hump. You're a successful football team. Even if you lose 3 games only consistently, you are a successful football team. But you get no attention. Nobody cares. Would you rather have that attention and maybe with a decent record and not so successful? Would that help you? That's what we're talking about. Email me if you want to come on here and talk your talk, guys. All right. Hot tips for tlpsports@gmail.com. This is a call-in show. So call in and voice your concerns, guys. All right. So what are you guys are saying in here? All right. Just being myself. Welcome to the show. Indian Carter, what up with you? Erica Ransom, I already said what up with you. TLP, I posted what former Florida State QB Danny Kennel said. LOL. Where did you post it? Can you repost that for me? Repost that for me if you can. All right, hold on. I want to get some people in here, guys. Sorry. Okay, so Carolina boy, you got the floor right now. You got the attention right now. He won the business side. I give him that. But as he would say, keep the main thing, and that's the product he's putting on the field. That is, if I had like one of those gong, I would give you a gong. Excuse me, bong. That's correct. The main thing is football. It's the product that you put on the field. But football is entertainment. So, and we forget that aspect of entertainment. We think that football is so important because America's sport is football. So we look at football as a very like a very important thing in America. So we take it very seriously. Just like Brazil and other nations take soccer or the real football seriously, like it's a religion, like we worship football, like football Americano in America is huge. Okay? Like pastors cannot wait to leave church to go watch the game. They preach on that. They start looking at the clock. The Lord is good, but Lord, the game is coming on. So put your offerings in the basket. I'm out. Okay? I think I'm joking, but maybe I'm not. But I'm telling you, football is huge, but it's entertainment. We must understand the entertainment value of football. All right? Coach Prime, I'm going to tell you this. Coach Prime can sell you water in the ocean. Coach Prime can sell you fire in hell. Forgive me, Lord, but he's not going to hell, so let's forget about that. Okay? He can sell you water in the well. But listen to this. Coach Prime will continue his message all the way until he wins. And guess what? The time frame that most people are saying that it takes to win is probably going to be the time frame that it takes for him to win. But you wouldn't even notice. And I'm telling you right now, you wouldn't notice that it took 3 to 5 years for him to win because he's swallowing up the attention, the whole span. By the time Coach Prime starts winning, it'll feel like his first time, his first year. And it'll probably be like 2 to 3 years down the line or 3 to 5 years down the line. But you wouldn't notice the difference because it's fun. It is fun. Yo, what he's doing, putting together his team, he's going to keep selling. He's going to keep marketing, keep giving you catchphrases, keep giving you more videos from his camp. And then we're going to keep giving you videos. We're keeping you entertained. And what you call, some people say, distracting you. All right? The distraction is going to be in your face. Before you know it, it'll be 3 to 5 years, and we'll start winning. You'll be like, dang, I knew Prime could do it. I told y'all Prime would win. It's been 5 years, bro. Yo, let me start talking crazy before you come for me. Yo. Oh, my gosh, yo. Yo. AK, what up with you? AK says money is the bottom line of it all. So, AK, let me ask you a question. If you were to get the money, aka the attention, is that enough for you? Coach Prime is going to get both. But I'm just letting you know right now, he has the attention, and the money is coming after the attention because the attention is the hype. The hype sells tickets, sells merchandise, even though merchandise has gone down. Like my channel, nobody wants to be a BWB, and we losing. So those shirts are not flying off the shelf anymore. Those shirts are not going around the country no more. The sales have calmed down, right? But ain't nobody buying no BWB hat right now because you can. Who was wearing their Denver Nuggets jersey before last year? As soon as they won, everybody went back to their closet, dusted off their Denver Nugget jersey. And I mean, some people went all the way back to when they had like the guy with the axe. Okay, they were bringing out jerseys from everywhere. Okay, so winning is very important. If you can get both, you're out of here. That's why this is the best story in sports. And the haters don't get it. The haters don't understand. Guess what? Why people are mad at Coach Prime and are actively campaigning against Prime? Because he has the attention, and they know that is a currency that you can't buy. You cannot buy attention. All right? It's something you either have or you don't. Maybe there's a way to buy it. Maybe you gotta hire a Coach Prime. You gotta just give him a blank check and say, I'll give you $1 billion to come over here, and that's buying the attention because he comes with the attention. But Coach Prime has the attention. So attention is it's a currency you can't buy, right? But you get the attention. What is it called? The Cowboys. The Cowboys, when was the last time the Cowboys won the Super Bowl? 1996, when I went to college. Okay? But they sell a lot of jerseys. They got a lot of fan base. Why is that? They get attention, marketing, the currency. They have that currency. They have the Deion effect in the NFL. They do. Okay? There are winning teams in the NFL that you barely hear about every year. They're a good team. But they don't have the currency of today. Coach Prime has that. And this is the reason why a lot of people want to stop him. Because the most dangerous person in this space is the man that has the current currency, and then he starts to win on top of that. It's over. If you got the currency of the day and then you start to win, it's a wrap. You are the mayor. Everything you say will have to go. When you say we need to change this, people have to pay attention because now your fan base has crept into other fan bases like the Georgias. Tell me how many times yesterday I did a show and I was asking you guys, what teams are you coming from? There's a lot of people that were in here that were saying, hey, I'm from Georgia. I've been a Grambling fan for this amount of time. I've been a G something. I forget the names that they put up there. I've been this fan for this amount of time. The person that can bring other people to his program, even with a losing record, he already has that, and then he starts to win like the Georgias. My brother, hey, if you're not afraid of that person and you're the NCAA or any of these other schools, then you don't know what's happening. I'm telling you. Peter said, Peter, what you say? Delusional with a period mark. If Deion made the university all that money, then why is he saying they don't have money to compete? We were lied to. No, you don't get it, Peter. Peter, I spoke about you yesterday. You were the same one that told Jesus to not die. That's a joke. But anyway, Peter, listen to me. The university cannot take the money and then give it to the students. The money that Deion Sanders made, the money that his whatever he made, the university has to run it's the athletic department that's running. I think you're tunnel vision. Don't be tunnel vision, okay? When rich people make money, when rich people have billions of dollars, You can't say, oh my gosh, why don't you just give all the homeless people in the world, why don't you just give them $100,000 each and we will cure homelessness? That's not how this works, Peter. That is not how this works. You have a bunch of students that you want to attract. You want to give them the money that you made last year from ticket sales, from merchandise sales. You still have a program to run. You as a billionaire, you still have a life to live and you still have companies to fund. You need those billions of dollars to get loans to run your company because the billions of dollars is your collateral. I'm giving you business 101 now. Because you are rich doesn't mean you give your money away so that you can so that everybody else can be fine. That's not how it works. That's not how business works. You have all of those monies so that you can help to get credit. Your money helps you to get credit. What do you have as collateral? What do you have as an asset? All of that asset cannot be given to students. Then you have nothing as collateral. You have nothing to work with. And it's an athletic department that the football department, the football team is bringing money into. You got ladies basketball, I believe, are ranked number 3 right now. All right, Peter? So all of the money that you see, recruiting, I'm in my bag right now, so forgive me if I don't talk to you in the comments. Let me. Don't forget, I'm the information king. Listen, TLP is going to give you that information. Recruiting, when you travel to Florida, when you travel to this place, American Airlines, those pilots, they go home to wives and husbands and other people. They got to get paid. That's money. It's not free. All of the money that you're making is helping the other sports as well, the athletic department to be ran. So when the women go to play, they need to have they need to travel as well. Recruiting, you got to travel. It's not free. So it takes thousands and thousands and thousands upon thousands of dollars to run a program like this. You need unlimited amount of funds. Because when those recruits come to visit you on officials, you have to pay for them. Hotels, food, lodging, all of those things you got to pay for as a university. Now think about all of the players that was on that list of recruits that had to come to the school. You're paying for aunts and uncles, dads and moms. You're paying for all of those people to stay in the hotel. When you go to a hotel, it's like $300 and some a night times 4 people. That's a lot of money. And then you're renting them a car because you ain't about to be driving them around in an Uber. No, you rent them a car. That's a lot of money. All right? Peter says, I donated $75. My man. Dang, I love you, Peter. That's what we need to do. Peter's not just a talker. He also talks with his money. You see what I'm saying? So Peter talks with his money as well. Yo, I'm telling you. But all of the money that's made, all of that money, trust me, it's not enough. You're competing with the Georgias, Alabama. You want to get on the level of the Alabamas. You want to get to a place where you don't need Prime anymore. Prime is just one man. When he leaves, you want to make sure your program is in good state. So you can't give all that money away to kids. No. Okay? That's not how it works. Yo. Oh, man. Y'all are we talking today? Are y'all enjoying the show? Come on, guys. Help me out here. I want to make sure that we have a show and we're not just smoking, pushing hot air. The celebrity don't come out in the rain. Oh, break that down. Break that down, Peter. Break that down. Peter's still on the board. Cindy Crawford? Oh, no, not Cindy Crawford. Cindy Hayward. Cindy Crawford used to be my crush when I was younger. When I came from Liberia and I saw her wide, squarey face and her hair, like her brown, her golden hair like that. I think that was like the first white woman that I fell in love with when I came from Africa. I was like, my goodness, who is this? She is gorgeous. I'm sure that's not how I said it, but something like that. But Cindy Hayward, not Cindy Crawford. What were they doing before Deion didn't have the same responsibility? What does that mean? What were they doing before? Dion didn't have. Okay, Dion. What were they doing before Dion? I think that was what you say. What were they doing before Dion? Didn't have the same responsibilities. Break that down. I think I'm reading that wrong or something. Okay. Peter got robbed and went into the Prime Building Fund. Buy him a coaching manual, Peter. That will help more. Y'all been want to go back into his trolling moods. All right, so we got they seem more money. They seem to have more money than in the school's history since Prime than in the school's history. Prime is a money machine. All right, Cindy. Prime is a money machine for sure. Quincy Kennedy, what up with you? Why square face don't sound too good? No, it was like, come on now. You remember Cindy Crawford? She had that squarey face. You know that, like, it was like all points were connected, all the dots were connected, and she had that golden hair. It wasn't a round face. It was like, Cindy Crawford's face. Just think about her. Think about her face. Maybe I'm not describing her correctly. I'm just being myself says I'm creating a 1-800 hype addicts hotline, dog. What you plan on doing with the hype addicts? Hey man, this is the Dion hotline. Are you an addict? Do you click on every video? Do you watch every video and forget to do the laundry? Are you in the same underwear that you were in 2 days ago? Okay, walk away from the Dion videos and please go wash your butt. That's the hot addicts. That's the addicts hotline. Shots. We got shots. Cindy Hayward says, "Look, I'm prettier than Cindy Crawford." Isn't she like 80 now? I don't remember. Shots. Let's go. Let's go. Will Smith had a shot, but he effed it up. Took a left with Jada. Oh, come on. I don't talk about Will Smith. I don't like that guy no more. I was one of the biggest Will Smith fans until this slap. I don't like that guy no more. I'm for the underdog, guys. I love the underdog. Okay, that's just people who are downtrodden, people who don't have anything. That's what I live for. And for you to you're a big stature. I'm a big guy. I'm gonna come slap you. And he couldn't fight back, bro. All the rappers that been talking about you, all those big gangsters that have been talking about you, you couldn't hit one of them. So to get a fair fight. So many dudes was like, "Yo, I wish you would hit me," and you ain't hit none of them. That's not. I can't ride with that. Anyway, we're moving on from that. We don't want to turn this into a what's the name show. Okay, here we go. We got one that says Leonel del Rosa. Leonel del Rosa. It sounds like a Spanish name, but I think you're African. I'm just wishful thinking. I feel like you are missing the point. Colorado can use some of the money for recruits. Not all of it, of course. So we assume they put aside a certain percentage for recruiting. No, that's not how it works. I'm not missing the point. That is not how it works. You have a budget for recruiting that you got to put money in. When money comes in, you're gonna put. Yeah, okay. So a certain extent, yes, you're right. But remember, the NIL is new. You have a budget for recruiting, but recruiting budget was for traveling, meals, airfare, all of those things. But now you have a situation where, give me 1 second, guys. Let me just give me 1 second. I gotta go off script real quick. It kind of sucks when you're getting over a cold or you have sinus issues and you have to keep sniffing. It's kind of rude to keep sniffing in people's faces and ears. All right, so Took care of that. All right, guys. So listen, the recruiting budget for a regular, like recruiting, where you're having to bring people over, you pay for that, you gotta like do different things. NIL is what 2021, right? I believe NIL was April of 2021. They said now finally the one the court case now the NCAA was required by the U.S. Supreme Court or whoever to now have to pay students for their name, image, and likeness. Now, when that happens, now schools are setting up these they're setting up these bowls or the name I'm forgetting. Okay, they're setting up these NIL. Really, I'm gonna forget the name. Whatever it's called, y'all put it in the comments. Okay, they set them up in initiatives. Okay, they set these initiatives up. People put money into it and they can spread it out. But if you're using the money that you get into the university to then give to those students, you're not going to have enough for you to be able to do all of the things, the moving operations. Did you guys see the video? I think it was a short that I did, it was a short that I did. They're putting a new screen in Folsom Field, all right? And it's going to be like, the square footage is going to be crazy. I don't remember the details right now, but they're putting a new screen up there. That screen, the construction of that screen, the construction, the reconstruction, like having to do things in the stadium, the money that it costs, you can't keep up with this. It's expensive. Everything is expensive. So you can't take that money and start giving it out to people, to students. Shador is evaluated, or his valuation, his NIL valuation right now is a $5.4 million. That is not coming from the school. Ain't no school giving no kid no $5.4 million for him to do this and to be driving a Rolls Royce around campus. You would be out of money. If you had to promise that to every recruit, you would be out of money. So the money that they're getting in is to run the operations of the school, of the program, and everything else, okay? And you know how HBCUs work. They start taking money from the football budget to take care of other things that's in the school, to build new classrooms, to keep up the operational things that's going on. So yeah, that's what happens. So the budget, I'm not a school administrator, but I know business. I know how this stuff works, okay? If there's an administrator here that can tell me, oh yeah, man, can confirm some of those things, trust me. When Coach Prime left Jackson State and you started peeling back the layers, you started realizing that the football budget, the money that Coach Prime generated at Jackson State, some of that money was going into other places that weren't making money at the school. So yeah, the money is being taken care of. The money is spread out to take care of the school, basically. But NIL got to come from businesses. Shador recently got another NIL worth $3 million. Wait, Shador's at 15 mil? Didn't hear that. All right. Uh-oh, there's some fighting there's some fighting words in the comments. I'm not keeping track. I gotta get a curator, man. I gotta get some help. As the show grows, I'm gonna be able to get some help, guys. Right now, it's just one guy. It's just me. NIL collectives. Yes, collectives. Thank you so much for helping me out. It's called NIL collectives. When I'm talking so fast, I can't remember some of the stuff I did videos on and all that. Was this just a money grab? Why isn't it Dion recruiting? I don't know what you mean. Break that down for me so I can understand. Yes, this is a lot of the NILs does come from that. Apart from the collectives, excuse me. Apart from the collectives, all right, guys, you have companies that want to team up with your star football players or your star athletes to promote their products. So they're going to have those valuations from companies. But the collectives, is where everybody like Peter, who's sending 75, who donated $75, you and I can put money in there. And the rules are you can actually say, I want my money, which is $175 or $75. I want it to go to the funds for the offensive line. All right. So anytime they go after an offensive lineman, whatever that budget is that they have, that people have designated for the offensive lineman, they'll say, okay, we got $75 of Peter's money that's set out for a big offensive lineman. Peter can even specify, I want that offensive lineman to be over 300 pounds. Anybody under 300 pounds, do not give a cent of my money to them. I don't want $1 to go, 1 penny of my money to go anybody sub 308 pounds. Whenever you guys want to recruit somebody that's 300 pounds or more, give them my $75 or spread it out to them. You can do that with the collectives, okay? Once you do that, now they get these linemen who are not getting big NIL deals, so they have some money they can tease in front. They can kind of wave in front of them. Hey, we got $75, man. Listen, I'll give you $1.50. I'll give you $1.50 out of that $75 for you to come and play for me. Blah 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 blah. So that's kind of like, in a way, explaining how that collective thing works. We can all put money in there. Millionaires are part of that collective. They're putting money in there. People are creating other collectives as well to help the team. Alumni are creating collectives to help the team. This thing is big budget stuff. FBS Football Bowl Subdivision is big budget stuff. This is not no small budget stuff. We're not talking about a couple of $1 million. We're talking about a lot more than a couple of $1 million, because some of these big beefy dudes, these big linemen, okay, like we need some edge rushers. We don't have a lot of the edge rushers that are in like Manti Te'o, who are the stars. You don't have edge rushers that are stars anymore. If we want to go after somebody with a name, somebody who can be a game changer on your defense or on your offensive line, we can get a tight end, all right, like a Gronkowski. We can get any of those people. It's going to cost you money, maybe a couple of $1 million, okay? So we want to make sure we have that in the collective or in our NIL pool so that we can make that offer, so that when they come over, because somebody else is going to be offering them as well. So think about that. And guess what? Tying that back into the idea of this show, the attention is the currency. The attention is how you're able to do that. Coach Prime just got to keep selling. All right. As long as Coach Prime keeps pushing his message, that can happen. All right, guys, let me know if somebody's want to come in here. Hot tips for tlpsports@gmail.com. Somebody who either want to argue a point, want to make a point, but you want to do it live, you're tired of typing, and you want to come on the show, hot tips for tlpsports@gmail.com. It's also in the description, and it's also at the bottom of your screen right there. You see it right there. It's also at the bottom of your screen. Carolina boy says what? Where was this issue with the offensive line when they won the first 3 games? Nobody heard anything about that, about what they needed. All of a sudden, they started losing and blamed the line. Man, listen, me and you are in the same boat, Carolina boy. We're both Carolina boys, and we both agree with that line. And the reason why we agree on that line is because the play calling was not spread out, and they started exposing the offensive lines. They started exposing the offensive lines deficiencies, or where they had their little, I guess, the things that they couldn't do well. All of their weaknesses were being exposed because the play calling was horrendous. So if I'm not calling the right plays, if I'm not moving the ball, if I'm only using 3 plays in the playbook, is Shador drop back and toss the ball, Shador drops back and then keep dropping back and then keep dropping back before he tosses the ball. I mean, like, we're not doing let's toss the ball to Jimmy Horn so he can throw to Dylan Edwards. Let's mix it up. Let's give the offensive line a break instead of having to keep blocking for the same dang thing. Like, come on, don't make me have to use foul language. Like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Mix it up. Get the ball off of the press. Take the pressure off of the line. Okay, toss the ball to somebody. The offensive line can block for that. Do something different. So that didn't happen. So, and they kept exposing and kept exposing and kept exposing. Next thing you know, because they kept using those same plays, people figured it out. All right, people knew after the third game. People was like, "Oh, wait a minute, CSU exposed it, and that was it." And then after that, it was like, "Oh, they're doing the same plays. They don't want to change the plays. Okay, then let's go get them." And that's what it did. And then all of a sudden, everybody started blaming the O-line. It's the O-line. The O-line is trash. The O-line is trash. And then Coach Prime put gasoline on that. He says, "I'm replacing them because they suck." The head coach said that. Oh, man. All right. So didn't he say last week he had some recruiting meetings? Who, Coach Prime? X-Men said this. Can be what up with you? BWB in the hazy. Guys, why are we acting like CU dominated in their wins? They just won by a thread. Those games were tight. Even went to overtime. That's fine. New wave, new avenue. Any hold on. You said 300 pounds don't equal good. No, but I mean the other teams got 300 pounders. The other teams got 300 pounders. The line is supposed to be they're supposed to be big guys. Big guys. Like just straight up big guys. 290 something, okay, 290 something with muscles and can run and is very strong. That's fine. But guess what? You got some 300 pounders that are the same type of strong. They're agile. They can run and they can block and they can do a lot. If you big enough and you can like the big bodies, you can't get around them. It's harder to get around those guys. And then if they're strong and fast, it's harder. By the time you try to like do all your arm movements and do all of these things that they teach you, all your techniques, by the time you do all of that, all we need is a couple of seconds, bro. We only need like 3 seconds. So if you can block the line with a wall of fat guys, they don't even have to be agile. Just block the whole line with a bunch of fat kids that eat McDonald's every day. Like 400 pounds, lazy bums. Give me some time to throw, please. Yo, I'm joking, obviously, but still, man, like we need the line to hold for at least 3 seconds. Give Shador 3 to 4 seconds, we win a national championship. I said that. Deal with it. I guarantee you, and I'll put everything on it. Maybe not everything. Maybe not everything. Because that kid got some flaws, okay? I put a little bit on it. You give Shador 3 to 4 seconds, we win a national championship. I'm telling you, he's that good. Y'all don't know Shador Sanders. Y'all don't know Shador. He's that good. Give him 3 to 4 seconds. 3 to 4 seconds. And we'll win the national championship. You have no idea who you're dealing with Shador, man. I'm telling you. Erica said the bigger the better. Oh, man. Y'all talking about home visits. So, yo, I want these guys to be big. I'm telling you, I don't know about y'all, but if they say, "Oh my gosh, we got a big, strong 290 pounds," you lost me at 2. You lost me at 2. I don't want to hear the word 2 when it comes to the line. When it comes to the line, I don't want to hear anything about 2. All right, I don't care. He could be the number 1 guy coming from Georgia. He jumped into the portal. I don't want him. I don't want him. If he's 290 something, I don't want him. Take him back. Okay? There's a reason why he's into the transfer portal. Take him back. Give me 310 easy. You understand what I'm saying? Give me 310 easy with a little bit of a gut. All right? That's all I want. Okay? By the time you get around a 310-pound beefy McDonald's everyday eating fool steak, because I don't think they serve McDonald's at CU. They be having steak. I think Jimmy Horn was like he don't eat so much steak. He's tired of steak now. He been eating too much buffalo meat. I don't want anybody sub 300. All right. As a matter of fact, I'm blocking you for such an idiotic comment. Blocking me? Block me. Oh man. Why would you tell me you're blocking me? You're supposed to just do it. I don't see you no more. Oh man. It's like telling me, I'm so glad I did subscribe from you. I'm like, oh dang. But then why are you still here supporting me? You know, if you watch the videos, right, you're still supporting it. Subscription is just another benefit, right? I'm too real for this space. You guys are killing me. I'm blocking you. I would have never heard it if you blocked me. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Carolina Boy said the 111 team had a better O-line than this year team. Prime ran them off. Why are we back on Prime? Why are we trying to troll Prime? He didn't run them off. He told some people to jump into the transfer portal if they're in about that life. Prime old school style works. I mean, sometimes it works against him, and sometimes it works for him. But I'll say one thing, guys. I would say that Prime is probably learning a lot about adjusting his old school ways, because I get it. The old school way, like you saying certain things and the way that was yesterday. Okay, this is a whole new age. So I'm sure as things go along, as he learns these players, the things there's a lot of things that, first of all, that you don't know that was going on behind the scenes. Okay, so it's not like Coach Prime is about to change everything about himself. Excuse me. There's a lot of things that we were not privy to. We didn't hear about that he was dealing with. If you watch that interview from Bucky last night on the unscripted unscripted show, I guess that's what it's called. If you watch that interview, in there, Bucky was like, there's certain things he can't say, but there were a lot of things that Coach Prime had to have, a lot of outside forces that he had to deal with that you're probably not going to hear about unless he's finished coaching and write a book, or it's going to come out in that is it Netflix? Yeah, Prime documentary. So he was dealing with a lot of things. We're not aware of everything that he deals with. And I want to caution everybody or anybody that's going to say every coach deals with stuff. I'm not talking about that stuff. That's the regular stuff. Every coach deals with, because you are the head coach, you're dealing with a lot of different elements. But I'm talking about the unnatural stuff that he was dealing with that's going on behind the scenes that you don't know about. So he ain't about to change himself totally. The only reason why we're talking about some of these things and why some of these things are coming up is because they took L's. We're not going to talk about none of this. We will still be here pumping up Coach Prime and, yeah, Coach Prime, tell them. That's how you deal with the media. The media is against the people. Get them, Coach Prime. Speak your truth, Coach Prime. Yes. As soon as he starts taking L's, maybe he needed to be a little bit more humble. Maybe he shouldn't have been knocking the table telling those people, you believe now? You believe now? Yo, we only come to those conclusions when they start losing. Then we need something to blame. We need to find something to kind of hold on to, or to kind of point the finger at. Because we're human. This is our nature. This is what we do naturally. We ain't going to be sitting back and being like, yo, oh yeah, Coach Prime, keep being the way that you are. While they're losing. One person says, get rid of the cameras. One person says, maybe it's that gold whistle he got on his chain. That was my favorite one. Somebody said, maybe it's that gold whistle he got. It screams fake coach. That's the reason why they're losing. Okay? There's too many people around. There's too many people in the kitchen. Like, Yo, I'm telling you, we only come to this conversation because they took L's. If they're winning, man, we'll be pouring more gas on Coach Prime. Be putting more battery in his back, telling him to be the way that he is. Coach Prime is the man. He's Coach Prime always tell it like it is. He's a truthful man. He's a man of God. He's a man of this. But every time he takes an L, man, he's less than a man of God. Man, who cares about his truth? Man, you better stop talking about all that stuff, man. You better do more NIL. Come on now. We know what we're talking about. He better go get those Georgia, Carolina boys out there on the farm lifting cows and pigs. Hey, Erica, what are you doing? Don't be talking about us farm boys. All right. The man above says at New Avenue, hello, you gotta have some grace for the man. I can understand the gripes if this was year 3 or after he's had proper time to build. Man, I'm telling you right now, even after year 3, it's not gonna happen. It's unless you're not gonna be human no more, if that's what you're saying. If you ain't gonna be human no more, then maybe. But as long as you're human, nah. There's so many people. You can talk until you're blue in the face. There's too many people. Don't forget about the running game with Dylan. If we give him a running line, he's out. Ernest McNeil, what up with you? Hope all is well. Not too many people going to catch him. LOL. She wasn't blocking you, Harry. Oh, not blocking me? Y'all having side conversations and I'm over here jumping in the middle. My bad. My bad. Forgive me, please. Oh, God. Forgive me. 3 of the linemen starting on bowl eligible teams. Oh, yeah. But I mean, come on. Listen, Coach Prime said what he said. His old school ways, he's gonna live and die by those ways. You keep your standards. Is there any news out there that you guys have? Because at this time while I'm doing the show, I'm not able to feed the AI or look at the AI right now. But if you want to come on the show, guys, if you want to voice your opinion, you have something to add to the show, please let me know. But man, I gotta keep up with these comments. Hey, I'm originally from South Carolina, so don't try it, Harry. You from okay. I'm with you. Colorado did not run the ball, okay? And I'm gonna look at you guys and tell you guys straight up. Colorado did not run the ball, and I don't know that we're gonna get answers. Hopefully, Coach Prime is gonna say something about that come the season. Now, I want to pivot to one of the interview questions that was given to Coach Prime last night. Coach Prime's grade and Shador's grade. Deion Sanders Jr., a.k.a. Bucky from Well Off Media. Excuse me. He was asked last night by his the interviewer, what grade do you give your dad? Let's start with dad before we go to Shador. What grade, given all the things that he had to deal with on and off the field, successes and losses, what grade do you give your dad? I want you guys to put your grade in here, guys. If you are participating with me, also if you want to come on and talk about Coach Prime's grade, hot tips for TLP Sports at gmail.com. Please email me. I will send you the link so you can join the show and we can talk about the grade. So anybody that's brave enough to come on and put your face or your voice to a grade for Coach Prime, come on and let's go ahead and talk about that. But I'll start the conversation. Coach Prime's grade. What grade? A, B, C, D. All right? And if you are a strong non-supporter, you can give him an F, okay? F being the lowest. What grade do you give Coach Prime's efforts this season? And that's encompassing everything, considering everything. Deion Sanders Jr. gave his dad an A. All right, he gave his dad an A, and some of his reasons were, all right, some of his reasons were everything that his dad had to deal with that you and I did not see behind the scenes is the reason why he gave his dad an A. Because his dad, the expectations and the goals that they set for themselves, they knew that they could have accomplished some of those goals, but some of those were impeded because he was dealing with extra activities behind the scenes, stuff that most coaches do not have to deal with. So he was giving his dad an A because he was privy to that information. We didn't see it. We weren't part of it. We didn't know it. But we know for ourselves that Coach Prime was dealing with a lot. We know some of the refs, the stuff that they were calling, like it was crazy. We saw some of that stuff seep out into the into the media out there. We saw it for our own eyes that he was dealing with something. All right, something that had nothing to do with like just him being a coach. If he was just given the ability or the grace to just coach without all the extra stuff that he had to deal with, I'm sure that the records would probably reflect differently. But for whatever reason, he had to deal with that. And the reason why he had to deal with that is because of where everything that comes with him. He's Dion, bro. I'm telling you, you got to deal with it because you are Deion Sanders. You're prime. So your lane is going to be different from everybody else's lane. And everything that comes with everything, all the energy, the target that you put on your own back, yeah. Some of that is you call for some of those things. Okay? You said you were gonna win. You said all of these things. So you place a target on your own back, and the expectations and the hype that came with all of that, those problems you were dealing with, and we didn't know. So your son gave you an A, Coach Prime. What do we give Coach Prime? Erica Ransom is on board for saying B. Tell me why, Erica. Why is he getting a B? Tell me why. All right. Let's go here. The man above says, that's a point some may have missed. Prime showed up in late December. There's players in the portal now, and we're still in November, so some CU players could have been already in the portal. That is true. That is true. I want to hear if you are able to put in there. I want to hear what grade you give Coach Prime. If you are able to type right now, please participate. If you're able to type right now, if you are watching in the post, if you got to this far, because we are 1 hour 37 minutes in on the East Coast, we are 1:40 p.m. All right, guys. So if you are watching it after the live, what grade are you giving Coach Prime for this season? Erica Ransom says grade of B. That's a pretty high grade. That's a passing grade. All right. I want to, and then if you can put in the comments also, why do you give him that grade? Erica, why do you give him a B? Because a B is a pretty high grade because you get A, B. The next one is C, and then it gets worse than that. So a B is a pretty high grade. You can get into some really good schools with a B average. All right. So that means it's a successful season for a B. AK says B. All right, so we got AK on the board says B. Carolina boy, everybody else that's in here, what grade are you giving Coach Prime? And I would like for somebody to explain it. If you are able to come on and call into the show and explain it, that'll be great. But I want to know what grade you're giving Coach Prime. Hot tips for TLP Sports at gmail.com. I'm giving Coach Prime a solid C. All right. And I believe that's the same score that was given to him by the guy that asked the question to Bucky. All right. All right. Antonio McKinney says, B plus, what's the number? Hot tips for TLP Sports at gmail.com. So email me. All right. Let me put it in here. Let's put that on the board. The email is right there, guys. Hot tips for TLP Sports at gmail.com. All right. Email me. I will send you the link. You can come on and you can explain what your grade means. You can also type in the chat why you're giving him a B or a B plus. But yeah, please come on if you can. Antonio, if you can come on and explain your grade. But I will give him a C. And I agree with the guy that at unscripted, off script. I mean, I kept saying unscripted is off script. I would the host of Off Script. I don't really know him. That was my first time seeing his show. But Off Script, the guy with Off Script, he's obviously a friend of Coach Prime and his family. So you know what I'm saying. I don't know his name. I'm sorry. If you know his name, they want to drop it in there. I can give him some more credit, but I don't know his name. So yeah. So I would say, so the reason why I would give him a C is mainly because he changed the culture. Excuse me, at CU. All right. It's going 4-8. And I'm passing him because C is passing. All right. D is not passing, but I'm passing him because he changed the culture at CU, because he was able to do a lot with the fan base, sell out tickets, and the merchandise sales, all of those things, including at least winning more than one game. More going 4 and winning 4 games, because like I believe it was Yardman or it was X-Men that says we barely won some of those games. The TCU game we could have lost. It came down to the end. I mean, we lose a couple of those games, and before you know it, we could have been 0-12. I'm telling you, some of those games were very close. We could have went 0-12, and it would have been worse. And the wrath was going to be worse. We went 0-12. I'm telling you. So some of those games were very, very close. All right? But Coach Prime won 4 games. He definitely could have won more, pending the coaching would have been better. We could have definitely won more, especially at least 5, because the Stanford game, we was up 29 and a half. All we had to do was just come out and just run the ball every single down, including 4th down. Just run it. All right? First down or not, just keep running. All right? And we would have wore down the clock. But somebody didn't know what to do. Okay? But yeah, so C for that reason. I'm giving him a B- for a rebuilt. He had the team. Let's put this up. So hot tips for TLP Sports. I'm taking that off the board right now. Hot tips for TLP Sports at gmail.com. And it's not TIP Sports. It's TL like Larry P Sports. Don't put an I there or you won't get to me. Okay, so the man above says, I give him a B- for a rebuild. He had the team in games we had no business competing in this year. That's a really good point. 7 ranked opponents and somehow only 2 unwinnable. Lack of running is caused us a few games. Absolutely, that's a great point. But I don't know that says B-. I would change that grade to a C+ because of the lack of running. All right, you're like one of those teachers that just like you're so nice. You just want to make sure that all the black kids get the pass. So, so you're gonna give him a B-. I can't fail no black kids. Nah, bro. He gets a C+. All right. All right, here we go. I got an email. I'm gonna send you the link right now. So please give me a moment, guys. Let me go ahead and send this email. All right. We got a guest that wants to come on and explain his position. So just give me 1 second, guys. But yeah, I like the explanation, but I feel like the man above. I feel like the explanation does not warrant a B-. So if you want to talk about that, please put something else in the comments. But I think for what you said, I think that's a C plus. That's just me. All right, man. This is my first time watching your channel. I rock with y'all and definitely gonna follow. Yo, that's what's up, man. Appreciate you. That was Carolina boy. Carolina boy, from your comments, you don't even know the game. I still say B. Oh, y'all fighting? Oh, they're fighting. Ooh, they're fighting. Come on now, where's the email? Did I mess it up? Email. Hot tips for TLP sports at gmail.com. Send. All right. The man B minus and C plus is damn near the same, bro. You picking out great. Nah, bro. Nope. It's not the same, bro. I guarantee you. Look, a B minus, you know how we looked at a B minus. A B minus and a C plus? Nah, bro. You'd rather see that B minus. A B is like when you're in the B family, you're not in that C family, man. Okay? Because people don't even see the minuses or the plus. It's a B or a C. So, okay, so nah, you giving a B minus? Nah, you're one of those good teachers that used to say, I can't feel a black person. So, nah. Erica says, stop, Harry. He fighting. I'm chilling. Not with those words you're saying. Y'all start saying those words. Those are fighting words, Erica. Come on, Erica. Yo, why is this email not coming? Did I not pay my bill? I did pay my bill. Okay, so I'm gonna send it to a different email. This one wants to act up. We still waiting on her explanation. What's she waiting on? Oh, y'all, I'm telling you, y'all gonna go at it. Y'all go at it. Y'all, as long as y'all keep it respectful, that's what this channel's about. All right, so okay. Y'all keep it respectful. Y'all can go at it, but I don't condone doing violence on my channel. I don't know what's going on with the email. It is not trying to work, but hopefully this one works. Oh, now they want to come. Okay, here we go. All right, Antonio, I just emailed you. So you can go ahead and join the show so that you can explain either your grade of B or whatever grade that you're giving Coach Prime. You can explain that. But yeah, the man above that B minus, nah, that's a black boy score. That's like I just want to give him a score because I can't, I can't give a black guy. I can't feel a black man. Feel him. If he ain't doing the work, feel him. Am I doing something wrong here? All right, man. This is my okay. Well, what else? B plus C minus. All right. Leave that B minus alone, bro. Yeah, nah, man. Nah, bro. You said I give him a B minus for a rebuild. He had a team in games we had no business being in. You were in the game, but you lost the game. You in the game, but you lost. Like, you going like, aren't you just giving saying like, yo, like somebody said yesterday, oh, everybody gets a participation trophy. You give him an extra point because he was in games because he gave a little bit of effort, like he just showed up. Nah, you don't get no participation grades, man. Nah, that's not how this works. Just grade him on the hard scale. Grade him on a hard scale. Like, you can't give him an extra point because he was in games. You see what I'm saying? If you are a teacher, you don't give a student extra point because they tried the homework. I think you're grading based on the fact that they did the homework, all right, and they either did the homework or they didn't do the homework. But you're like, you know what? I'm gonna give you, some points because at least you thought about doing the homework. All right. See, I told you. I told you. Wait. My wife is kindergarten teacher and says C plus was the biggest grade. Agreeing with you. That's crazy. They said, that's what I'm telling you. C plus. My wife is a kindergarten teacher. She says C plus was the better grade. Agreeing with you. That's great. I told you. Yeah. Thank you. So she watched too. So she was watching during the season as well. C plus, not no B minus. You don't get no B minus. Oh goodness. And we got a teacher. We got a teacher over there correcting you. Coach Prime has changed the games, guy. He has changed the game altogether. We still. What are y'all waiting for, Erica Ransom and Carolina boy? What are y'all waiting for? Stop waiting for each other. It's not extra point. It's just not a reduction. Oh man. So not none all of y'all. We got so many people watching this chat, and nobody, nobody wants to grade Coach Prime. Only 3 people want to grade Coach Prime. The rest of y'all are just watching like on your phone or you're working. You're like, yo, Harry B, stop playing with me. I'm at work. You trying to get me fired? My bad. I ain't trying to get you fired. But if you can type or you can just whisper a score, be like, I give him this grade. All right, guys. So we got our guest coming on, Antonio. Let me go ahead and bring my guest on. Antonio, what up with you? It's Harry B with the TLPs at noon. What up with you? How you doing?
I'm good, my brother. How you doing this morning or this
All is
afternoon?
well. All is well. Thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate you. All right. So the first thing we're going to talk about is what grade are you giving Coach Prime? Let's get right into it.
I'm giving him a B, and
Uh-oh.
I'm giving it from a coaching standpoint because I coach high school football and I've sent several kids off to college, so I kind of understand what he's going through a little bit.
I'm pushing back. I'm going to push back. But let's
All right,
go.
all right.
Tell
So
me, tell me, you said, are you a current coach? Are you currently coaching?
yes, I'm currently coaching in Charlotte.
You're coaching in Charlotte. Are you a winning coach?
Yes, I'm not a head coach. I'm a position coach, but
Okay,
yes, we are winning.
what position are you coaching?
I coach secondary. I coach the
Secondary.
safeties. Yep,
Okay, so you're a secondary coach, and you're
yep.
giving him a B. That's a pretty high score. That's a pretty high grade. You understand what a B means to like your college application and transcript, right?
Absolutely.
And
It
with
means a
a
lot, especially when it comes to Pell Grant money. It means a lot.
yes, so you know the implications of a B because you can get to Ivy League with B.
Right. Absolutely.
Some Ivy Leagues, not all of them.
All right. So
Okay,
when you're looking at it on the scale, if you look at everything transpiring from day one when he took over at Colorado, Colorado was by far the worst team in all of college football, like worse than anybody before he got there. And then you talking about scrapping the entire football team away. He only kept what was it, 10 to 12 guys stayed. But when he got there, he got rid of basically everybody. They either quit on him or he asked them to look for other places because there wasn't the kind of guys he needed. So now you're starting from ground zero with no team. He never carried a full roster until halfway after the spring. He had about, if I'm not mistaken, he was carrying about 65 kids from the reports I was hearing and stuff. So when you're talking about building a team from scratch with nothing, it is almost like the program came off like the SMU scandal back in the day. It is hard to win when you have nothing. Then on top of that, there is always question about, let's just keep it real. He's Coach Dion. He's a football player. He's a celebrity. They automatically assume he didn't really know what he was doing. Oh, he was at HBCU. They're not really that great. And he was okay down there. So you always had these question marks put on him. Then on top of that, you're trying to bring in some of the top guys, and you're competing against the top schools like the Alabamas, the Georgias, USC to bring in top kids. He wasn't going to get all the top recruits. He was going to get a few sprinkles here and there until he can prove himself. So when you're talking about an offensive line that was by far they average what I think they said 3 stars. Maybe one of the kids might have been a 4-star, but everybody else was 3 and 2 stars. He was already behind the 8 ball. Then when you look at overall performances, they couldn't score got there. They couldn't stop a nosebleed before they got there. He took that team with the little bit of talent that he was able to accumulate in his first year. And remember, he came in December. So he recruited within, 3 months up until August. He was able to get a few kids in there, get enough kids in there to at least have somewhat of a team. He had tryouts for walk-ons. So a lot of kids on his roster are walk-ons. And like he said in the one interview, people didn't realize, he didn't even use all his scholarships. He's still got about 15 scholarships. People are not even counting. He hasn't even given out yet. That he's still trying to get more kids. So when you take into account for all that, and then his coaching staff, he only brought a few guys with him from Jackson State.
But
Then
hold
he
on,
trusted Sean.
hold on.
Go ahead.
Let's take this stuff in chunks, right? Because we're doing a show, right?
Okay, back up. Yeah, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. I'm sorry.
Okay, so it sounds like you're trying to give Deion Sanders some participation trophy here. Like, what's going on? The score that
No.
Okay, but let me push back a little bit, and then you can take it.
Okay, go ahead. Okay,
Because you're explaining he did this, he did that, but okay, the grade that we're talking about, right?
Overall,
the overall grade. If you were grading, like you're saying that the grade is based upon all of the changes that he was able to make, but these are okay. So you're putting points on the stuff that you're saying. So you're giving it a score. Remember, your score is a B. You said I'm giving him a B.
Yes.
That's just one drop from an A.
Right.
And you're saying that because he changed the culture, because he was able to bring these people in, this is justifying the B?
Yeah. Well, I'm just fine based off of that, but also what the kids were able to do. If you look at the games he lost 8 games. 2 of them were beat downs. What was it? The Washington State and Oregon. Everything else, they were in the game up until the last minute of the game, and they lost. So when you look at it, if a play here or a call here goes their way, you're looking at a team that literally would have had 2 losses this year. They would have been 10-2, and then we'd be saying something different. If you were to give him an A, let me ask you this question. I'm gonna push back on you for a second. Okay. What record would he have to have had gotten in order to get an A from you?
To get an A? 10-2.
So he would have had to be absolutely perfect first year out to get an A. He would have had to get almost a perfect record to get an A. He couldn't be in 6-6 or 8-4 record. That wouldn't be sufficient enough for you to get an A.
You said you coach high school, right?
Right, absolutely.
So you know how high school works. An A? To get an A from a high school student, from a high school teacher?
For a first year coach. For a first year, if it is a,
we're talking about
high school, okay, right. So we're talking about classes. Are we talking about A as a freshman, or we're talking about A as a senior? Because a freshman class, there is more leniency because they're still learning their first year. If you're talking about A for a senior, there's no leniency with most teachers. If you're looking at grades, because based off what you're saying, you're going based off of you're trying to put him in
if you're just I don't care if you're 9 years old and you a genius and you came and got it. I'm not giving you no A for participation. I'm not giving you no A. An A is an A. We're talking about an A.
I'm not talking about giving him an A for participation. I'm talking about giving him a B based off of the work what they did and how close they were. That's all I'm saying.
The dude could barely call a timeout. He barely knew how to call a timeout on the field.
Come on,
you're giving him a B.
Like that.
Huh?
You said, come on, barely call a timeout. The man did coach. Come on now. He wasn't no scrub. He wasn't the come on, he was not no scrub. We've seen worse.
He looked lost in that game. He was like, do I have one timeout? Do I not know what's like? Are you a B, man? I
give him a B because of what he has done. But I also and my B is a low B anyway. So, but it's a B because I don't think he was worse enough to say a C. 'Cause
No
I've
way.
seen worse. I've seen college coaches do worse that deserve C's and D's. And he did better than most with what he had and what he's doing. And especially with the amount of pressure that everybody put on him, even though he had his own personal expectations.
That's a
And like his son,
DMB. That's a
and then like
DMB.
his
That's a
and then like his
DMB.
son
You're
said,
giving him a
BMB.
DMB, bro. I'm sorry I keep talking over you, but you're giving him a
No, you fine.
DMB. I guarantee you, if this was anybody else that did what he did, he's not getting a B from you.
I don't know.
I'm telling
I
you.
don't know.
That's
Depends.
a
'Cause
DMB.
I'm gonna be, because there's certain coaches I like that a lot of people wouldn't agree with. So I'm weird. Because I like technicians. I like technicians. So for me, I like technician coaches. Like I used to be a Nick Saban fan until
But
he
he's
made
not
him.
he's not a technician coach.
No, but I'm saying I like technicians when I watch their position coaches. Like I look at certain things that I think Dan's gonna have to fix. Some of his position coaches aren't coaching to technique, and they're dependent too much on talent, and they're not fixing certain techniques, and that's
Okay.
what hurt him big time. If you look at some of those kids, like Kamar McLean, he's got talent. I think they depended on his talent too much, and they wasn't making him technically sound. Because a lot of times he was making mistakes that my high school kids don't make. So I think that's the thing that hurts Deion. I think he puts so much trust in certain people because he's trying to find the right combination of coaches. I think that hurts him a little bit. That's one reason why I give him a B based off of him trying to put together a staff along with the caliber of kids that he's trying to bring in there.
Okay.
That's the reason why I went with a B. That's why I went
Okay.
with a B.
So let me change the criteria a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
Let me
Okay.
say if
Go
the
ahead.
score changes. Let's score Coach Prime based on only what happened on the field. What grade do you give him?
Based on just the talent on the field?
Based on only what happened, his performance on the field.
I would be in your house. I would definitely be in the C department because of the lack of.
Oh, if I score him on the field, he's not getting a C from me.
You not giving him a C?
Heck no.
What would you give him? Would you give him an F? You think it's that bad because of the record?
No. I can break it down, bro.
Okay. Please.
I'm not giving him a. Okay, I'll give him a D because of this. He never ran the ball. He didn't override, or as long as we know,
right.
He didn't override what was going on. The change. You come on a press conference week after week. You criticize all of the other players, but you don't criticize your son with his technique. We don't hear nothing. Oh, he's who he is, and that's it. That's one thing. And then all of the stuff you keep telling us, hey, at the end of the day, we're one-dimensional. But you're the head coach. Everybody gets fired but you. Everything rises and falls on the head coach. So you're telling me, I know that your criteria was your criteria, but you're telling me that you're going to give anonymity to every coach on that field, but you don't have the power to override somebody saying don't run the ball. So I'm under the impression, low-key in my off-screen conversation, I'm blaming Coach Prime for not running the ball.
I have to agree with you because at the end of the day, even in high school, if we can't run the ball, I have a rule. I always have this saying: if you can't get one damn yard, we don't need to be playing football. And my thing with the one thing I will say, he might not. They could have ran the ball. Even if you had to grab a damn D lineman and put him in as a fullback just to establish something. So I agree with you on that. I do. That damn not being able to run the ball.
A C is passing. First of all, you get a C for passing. And if you have a record of 0. You got a record of 4 and 8, you didn't pass. So that's the first thing, right? So, but I'm not just grading him on loss, because if Coach Prime really coached his butt off and we just lost, I guarantee you the score would change. But the thing is, I watch Coach Prime go to press conferences and I'm listening with my media ears, I'm listening with my discernment ears, and I just see him blaming everything else and everyone else. But he never comes out to say, more so because he said it a couple of times. He's like, look, I got to take that. That's my fault. So that's why I would say, okay, maybe a D, not a D minus, right?
Okay.
Because he did take some accountability sometimes. But I feel like he did the thing that coaches always do, right? They'll take some accountability, but then when he changes his tune to other things, it felt like he took that accountability back. It felt like it wasn't really genuine, the accountability. It's like you're doing what coaches do. But if you wanted to say, hey man, I messed up here and I messed up, he would never, nobody should ever say that, right? But
Right.
I'm just saying, like, come on, bro. You never ran the ball, you never changed courses, and then Sean Lewis took a hit. Everybody else was taking a hit. And we're blaming the O-line the entire season. We're blaming Sean Lewis. We're calling him he's a traitor. We're putting so many names on these people. These people are real people. So I try to humanize these people, right? I'm like,
Right.
look,
Right.
that's a guy that he's a young man who really loves Coach Prime and really wanted to come over here and impress Coach Prime and his son. And he's taking all this hit. And you're telling me the Coach Prime, who's the head coach, he can't hear, hey, Sean Lewis, run the ball, Sean Lewis. Yell at Sean Lewis and tell him to run the ball, but you keep telling me we're one dimensional? How are you telling me we're one dimensional, but you're the head coach? That's why I'm like, that's a D, bro. On the field, it's a D.
On the field,
Everything encompassing is a C because I felt like he's that dude. He's gonna turn it around. It's a
right.
C overall passing
So
because of everything else, but no way he's passing on the field,
I
just on the field.
I, I think the way you're looking at it, we're in agreement. It's just our grades are different. Our level of grading is different because, like you just said, the
But
on the
you're
field
passing
you're
him.
calling. Yeah, listen, I'm not gonna lie. I grew up a Deion Sanders fan, so maybe I'm biased.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
yeah, I'm not. I keep that 100. I'm a Deion Sanders fan. Hell, even my son is named after Deion. That's how much of a Deion Sanders
Oh,
fan I am.
word?
Yeah, my son's name is Jordan
Wow.
Deion for Deion Sanders. Yeah. So
Wow.
maybe I'm biased, but but I saw
Maybe.
what I saw. Well, yeah, I am biased, but I saw what he did at Jackson State, and I saw what he was trying to do. What he's trying to do at Colorado, and I knew he was not going to be able to come out and win right away. I hope he did when he first came out with the first 3 wins. I was like everybody else. I was saying, okay, we might be doing something. But then I started paying attention to little stuff, and I know, like you said, he couldn't run the ball, and then it wasn't running the ball, and then all those hits your door was taken. I knew. I said, no, we ain't gonna make it. And I was like, he's lucky if he gets to 6-6, and they didn't. They got 4-8. But like I said, I felt like he had a lot of other things that we may not know, and I kind of believe this other factors that might be going on that he's not going to say,
A
just like
lot.
it was at Jackson State. Because remember, at Jackson State, he went when he left, everybody got mad because he left, but people forget why did he leave, and then it came out later he was dealing with the stuff from the president and everything else, so that was the reason why he couldn't do the things he wanted to do. So I'm not saying I don't think the people at Colorado is hindering him, but I do believe he's trying not to ridicule some of them coaches, but I think he knows some of them coaches aren't helping him. And that's why you start seeing a lot of them get other jobs. I think he's like, I'm gonna let them go get them other jobs so I can go find the right kind of people to come in because you see which guy wants to come. Warren Sapp is coming next year. So
Uh-huh.
now the question is Sal Sinceri leaves? Because I know Sal Sinceri personally. We coached against each other in high school, and I coached against. I got to meet. I got to know his son very well because I coached his son at Marvin Ridge. So the question is Sal leaving or is Sal gonna stay when Warren Sapp shows up? And if he does stay, Warren Sapp was a three technique. Sal teaches D tackles. So what are they gonna do with that? Because you can't have 10 coaches. And
Right.
I know he ain't gonna get rid of Nick Williams because Nick is too good of a damn recruiter to let go. So Nick gonna stay with them D ends. So like I said, with Tim Brewster coming to North Carolina, which that was weird when I heard you say that. He's at Charlotte. And I'm wondering what he's gonna do at UNC Charlotte. Cause that's a fiasco over there. I'm gonna keep that real with you. You
Wait, is
you
that
you
UNC
been
Charlotte or they're the 49ers?
yeah, they're the 49. UNC Charlotte's the 49. They dropped the UNC because they didn't want to be like Chapel Hill, so they went to just straight Charlotte 49ers now. But that's
Oh,
the
so
49ers.
what are we gonna be? Greensboro? We just gonna drop the UNC Greensboro and just go Greensboro?
I guess so, but that's what they did in Charlotte. They dropped the USC. They call themselves they call themselves Charlotte 49, but the true name is UNC because of the school system thing. But
Right.
yeah,
We're in the UNC system, so it's
right.
UNC.
It's UNC Charlotte, but they don't call themselves that no more. They call themselves Charlotte 49ers. It's a hot mess. It's a hot mess over there, man. But I'm gonna be honest. That's why I wondered when you said Tim Brewster was coming up camp. I thought he was going to Chapel Hill because I know Matt Brown is getting rid of some coaches. He's got to get rid of some coaches, or he's gonna be fired next year. Matt Brown's gonna be gone after next year. So
Matt
That's what I'm
Brown is
wondering when I'm
where?
looking at Matt Brown's at Chapel Hill, but he's going to be fired by next year. Matt Brown going
Oh,
to be gone. Yeah, he better be gone because he's not winning. They're wanting to win. They're not winning enough. Even
what
though
do you
they
mean? I
went,
thought UNC was dope this year.
they want UNC to be a national championship team, and he's not doing it. He's not
Oh, he
getting
about to
it
be a
done.
Jimbo Fisher.
He about to be a Jimbo Fisher.
Woo! But they're ranked, right?
No, they were. They got knocked out when they lost to NC State last week. They're not ranked no more. They were ranked number 20. NC State blew them out last week.
But you said last week though. You're ranked the entire season basically.
They were ranked most of the season. They were ranked, and they fell out of ranking, and they came back in the ranking. Because they had got as high as 19 at one point, then they dropped down to 24, then they fell out, and then they beat, I forget who it was, they beat somebody, and then they got back into the top 20, and they've been top 20 the last 2 weeks. But when they lost to NC State this past weekend, they're not even in it. When the polls came out yesterday, they're not in it.
Wow. But they
Yeah.
were very successful this season. But let's get back to this whole
Yeah, they
Coach
were.
Prime grading thing
Yeah,
and
but
before I
Coach,
let you go.
I think with Coach Prime, I disagree with you on the grade, but like I said, I'm biased, so that's why I give him a B, so I can see the C. Because like I said, I was teetering between B and C, and I just gave him the B because I just did. But
Yeah, so I think you're admitting that you're giving Coach Prime a grace.
a curve, yeah, grace.
You're
I'm giving him
grading.
grace.
You're grading him on the curve.
I'm grading. I'm giving him the. He's got a. You remember the old school? He's got an 89 or he's got a 79, so he needs that 1 point to be a B. I'm
Yeah.
giving him 1 point because I saw him work hard all year and he was trying his best. I'm giving him the 1 point to make it a B because he's a good kid. I know he's gonna be all right.
So if he
That's what I tell my football players that.
if he gets an
I
80,
tell
you
my
gotta
football
put
players
that
that all the
minus.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you gotta put a little extra.
you give him a solid B though. You didn't put the minus on there.
Yeah.
There's no way he gets.
He's been working hard. He's a hard-working kid. And
Let me name like 5 other coaches that's been working harder than him. Like
listen, there's a couple of them.
winning records.
Listen, look at your man from Duke. They just took the job at Texas A&M in 1 year. Look what he did with Duke. And I was a big Cutcliffe fan that used to be the old coach at Duke. So, yeah, but he didn't come into a cover that was messed up like Deion. I think the one thing that I would say that Deion might have messed up with, he was right with getting rid of the kids. But I think the way he went about it, everybody wants to get mad because he said, I'm bringing my Louis luggage and all that, and it was televised. That's just him. I think the one thing that hurt him, he should have sat down with all those linemen and kept as many of them as possible. Because I think
do you think that he should have saved that message for later after talking to them?
Yeah, I think so. I think he should have saved it instead of posting it right away. I think he should have saved it. I'm not saying not do it, but I think he should have saved it because those kids, some of them kids, I think could have helped him. Because you see, like Hankerson and Ham, some of them guys were able to help him a little bit this year. So I think they could have helped him.
So let me ask you this question before I forget. So are you saying that, okay, do you think, I'm going to ask you this, do you think that the message wouldn't have hit as hard if it wasn't posted live, if it was just something that they talked about in the locker room or in their meeting without him posting that? Do you think that would have been a difference?
I think so, because I have talked to other college coaches and they have said the exact same thing. It was never posted. I've talked to other college coaches. I've met several college coaches. You know, I've been a high school coach. We go to coaching clinics and stuff all the time. I've heard college coaches say the same thing before. Hell, Butch Davis said it. The one from Miami, Butch Davis, that used to be at Carolina. He said it when he first got to Chapel Hill, but they didn't post it, and social media wasn't that big back then when he took over at Carolina. So I think the media play of it, even though it was cute, everybody got, oh look, he said he bringing the Louis luggage. Yeah, but I think it hit different. Had it came out later on, then it would have been something different. Because you best believe when Nick Saban took over the job at Alabama 14 years ago or 15 years ago, however long it was, Nick Saban didn't keep them kids. He got rid of them damn kids and brought in what he needed. but was no
So
social
so
media
so
back then.
Bucky, the Bucky effect, or the thing that the the positive things that came out of the whole video thing, the recruiting and
I
all of
think
those,
I think
some
it
of that
hurt him a little
negative,
bit.
some of that
Yeah,
hurt him.
yeah, I think it hurt him. I think it hurt him because I love what they're doing. I love the social media and everything they're doing, but I think it did hurt him.
If it ain't go
Yeah,
so viral, if it ain't become such a
such a
headline
viral.
making thing,
Yeah,
and some of the kids feeling some kind of way, he would have been able to keep some of those kids.
yes, I think that's what it was. Those kids were embarrassed when they heard that. Those kids really got embarrassed of hearing, oh, he's bringing his little luggage. So all them kids, everybody in the world that loves college football immediately went to social media or went online and Googled Colorado roster to see what kids was getting kicked out. That's exactly what
Mm,
probably happened. And that's why
wow.
that's probably why he lost so many kids. A lot of people probably got into them DMs, were picking in, oh y'all suck, even your new head coach don't want y'all, da 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 da, all that stuff. So I think had he not had that came out or held off on it for a little while and then sent it out later on, I think he'd have been all right. I think he would have been fine. He would have been saved some of them, at least some of those linemen that he needed.
Because they would
Because
they would have said we already heard that, so y'all late.
yeah, exactly. Because if
Ah,
you
that's a
if you
good
look at the
point.
skill, if you look at the skill position wise, that was a major upgrade. Skill wise, it was a major upgrade for them.
Right.
But the linemen is what killed them, and it's hard getting linemen. Even in high school, it's hard for us to get linemen. We got kids walking the hallway 6'4", 6'5", 300 pounds that don't want to do nothing but just chill out and hang out with their friends. They don't want to play football. So I know college wise, it's just as hard.
Mm.
And
I
like
mean,
you
because
said,
you like you said, you coach currently, so you know the nature and the temperature of some of these young men. So tell us a little bit before I let you go. Tell us a little bit more about like the nature of some of these young men that you're coaching right now, or the people that you have to deal with, even on the line that we're talking about Colorado. Since we have you here,
okay,
what is the temperature with those young men? Because the mindset, because a lot of us say like right now, India Carter says some of those young men were too soft.
they
Are
are,
these
they
kids
are.
soft, or like what are
No,
you dealing with on in high school right now? What
so
is the idea in the high school right now?
you got a mixture of soft kids, and then you got some of those kids that Coach Prime called those dogs that really want. I'm gonna give you a great example, and it pissed me off the other day because I was telling somebody this. I don't know if you been watching college football. There's a young man at NC State right now named Casey Concepcion. He
Okay.
came from the school I coached at. This kid has been a dog since he was little. But the problem is colleges take their time about recruiting kids because they look for somebody else versus someone in house. That kid was a diehard Chapel Hill fan. He wanted to go to Carolina. Carolina BS and played around with him. And so what happened? He signed with NC State. What did he do? He puts up 250 yards on their ass when they played him Saturday, because he
Mm,
was pissed. But he's always been that way. You have some kids that are dogs, and then you got some kids that are pure lazy. And the problem is, in order to fill out a football roster, I can tell you right now, I'm at Julius Chambers High School, and out of our team, we got some dogs on it, but there are a few kids that are riding the coattails of them real dogs, and they
mhm.
want to be fake believer. I'm a dog, but they're really not, because they're not about that life. They're not willing to put that work in like they need to.
Okay, so are any of your high school like what conversations are you having as you being a coach, right, in real
Right.
time
Okay.
when they're talking about the O line being trash? What conversations are you guys having? Because I'm sure you're hearing that, right?
Yes. Yes. The problem that you have with linemen right now is no one wants to be a lineman. Everybody wants to be a star because linemen don't get no. They don't get no pub. They don't get no. Um, what do you call it? They don't get a lot of love and shine, and that's the problem. So when you get a kid that's
So you
like
can't
my
have a 300-pound kid trying to be a no wide receiver. Come on now.
no, 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 but he wants to be in the backfield sometime, or he wants to play tight end a little bit because he wants to get that shine.
At 300 pounds?
Coach, I'm telling you, there are so many kids out here. There are some really good kids that will work, but when it comes to linemen, it's far few in between. I would say on average, most high schools, to be honest with you, probably got maybe 5 to 6 good offensive linemen. And out of that 5 or 6, you lucky if you get 3 of them at a well, hell, I'm gonna be honest. In Charlotte, you're lucky if you get 2 or 3 of them to a Division I school. Now you can give them in college if their grade's good. You can give them to a D2, D3, or JUCO or something like that. But when you're looking at pure talent, like out of the Charlotte school systems, all the teams, there's probably about maybe 5 to 6 good football linemen. And out of that 5 or 6, you're lucky if you see 2 or 3 of them go D1.
I mean, North Carolina churns out basketball players, but it's football has always been struggling since I was there. I don't like the Dukes and your Carolinas. Like you rarely hear them. You rarely hear them say anything about football. But as far as like basketball, it's like all the North Carolina schools are always like in the top tier for basketball. But football has always been struggling to get out some people. So,
it's kind of funny you say that because everyone says that. When you live in the state of North Carolina and being a coach, we don't look at it that way. We don't look at it as being a basketball state, because when you look at attendance and money, it's more football. Football pretty much run everything.
So then what are y'all doing? We blame y'all then. What y'all doing? On the national stage, you're not churning them out. Like, what's up?
Part of the problem is, and this is what you're seeing with college, some kids don't want to stay and work. Some kids don't want to compete with other kids. If they can go to another school and play, they will. Just like the transfer portal is in college. It's worse in high school because kids get recruited by other coaches. Hey, I need you to come over here to my team versus staying where they at, because if they're behind a kid that might be really good, instead of beating that kid out, they'll go to another school because they want the easy road. And that's where you lose that fight and that dog of a player, because they want things given to them. Look at college football right now, how the transfer portal is. A lot of kids are not transferring. Now they are because of the money, but a lot of kids didn't transfer because of money. Transfer because they couldn't play. They weren't getting on the field, so they're like, well, hell, I'll go over here to this other school and play because they're going to let me play right now. Versus, well, I committed to this school. I knew this kid was in front of me that was good, or there's another kid that came in with me. I can't beat him out, so let me just go somewhere else. When we, back when you was
let me go back to this question that I asked you. I want to know what like you hear. Okay, you're an active coach, right? You are coaching high school in North Carolina. Okay,
yes, sir.
One of the top states, one of the top sports states in the nation, right?
Right.
You guys are on social media. You're hearing stuff, and Coach Prime says they asked him the question, "Yo, your O-line sucks. What you gonna do?" And he says, "We're gonna replace him." You go back to school. Maybe your
we had that discussion.
Okay, right. That's what I want to know. Your kids are there. Are your kids are they like, man, Coach, you know I can block for Shador. You know I can hold down Shador. Coach, come on now. You know I got that. What are y'all talking? What is the temperature like, on a football team that's in high school hearing these type of things?
In high school.
And how are you hearing it? How are y'all taking it? Are they like, ooh, that's bad? Or is that they're like,
right? When I first heard him go off on that line, I said, ooh, that's dangerous. Because now you're talking about the same people you criticizing are the same one to protect your son. And it is not hard for a kid to accidentally miss a block. Because if you watch, I can't remember what game it was. There was one game I watched, Colorado, the damn line, 3 of the linemen blocked just one guy and let 2 guys come in the hole, and they killed Shador. And this is after he had made that comment. I said, ooh.
Remember the Titans. The movie, the movie Remember the Titans always comes back to me when I think about those things.
That's it. So, but that comes from being a young coach, because people keep forgetting Coach Prime is still a young coach.
That's right.
He's a Hall of Famer, but he is still a young coach. So he's going to make mistakes and do things he shouldn't do.
You don't criticize your line. Like, if anybody can criticize, do not criticize your line, especially if your son is the quarterback.
We've always been taught that. If you have a problem with anybody, that's fine. But what you don't do is do not criticize that line because he's the same one that's got a block for you.
Right. Right. And I think people I don't know, some people are right for saying, hey, maybe that's just Coach Prime, that's his bravado. And you say that to college students, like I think Bucky was saying that last night because Bucky played too. So he was like, when they come to college, when coaches come, they say, hey man, I'm recruiting guys to come and replace you. So that kind of talking is normal in college. But when you do it in public and the media and everybody's watching and listening, I don't know that that's a good idea. I
I
don't
think
know.
I think if anything, I know he sometimes he gets in his interviews and he be like, "Oh, thank you, Lord." That might have been the time God should have told him, "Don't say that."
Yeah, yeah. I think that was yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
think
was the
that was
time.
one. I think that was one that slipped. If
Yeah,
I think that one was. Some people still give him credit for just being himself, but I think that's one that slipped. You don't tell. The
yeah.
line is important. The line
And
is too
he
important.
that's and he. I think he knew better, but I think the frustration got to him. But that's one of the times he should have just bit his tongue on and been like, "We're gonna fix it," and and that's it. But when he criticized that line and said, "I'm gonna go out and get some," that hurt him. That really hurt him because
So
I
what are your
can't.
kids saying when y'all talk? What are y'all saying? What did the kids say?
Well, most of our kids, they just want their opportunity to play. So for them, they looked at it as, "Oh, I go in there and block. I do better." He wouldn't be saying that about me because a lot of times kids deflect. They're like, "Oh,
Okay.
he ain't talking about me." Think about how
Okay, okay. So
young people, yeah,
that's what's going on over there. Okay.
yeah, young people nowadays be like, "He ain't talking about me. He talking about somebody else."
Okay. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I thought it was important to kind of get, what are other programs saying out there, because Coach Prime, he's always going to be Coach Prime.
You
Coach,
got
you know,
when I talk to other college coaches or other high school coaches, most of the time all of us are being black coaches. We're in support of what he's trying to do,
uh huh,
but like you just said, you got to watch how he's saying certain things because you just don't know.
right,
But for the most part, we want to send kids to him, and we want kids to go help him. Hell, I just got the phone with my godson who's at Carolina, who just entered the portal, and he said Shador just hit him up in his inbox. And I told him, I said, he's a D lineman, 6'5", 285. I said, you better go because they need help.
right.
But you better be ready to go work though because they're not gonna play. That's the key.
He
There's
said
nothing wrong with going.
he's at Carolina.
He's at Chapel Hill right now, but he just entered the portal. He
Did
just
he
went into.
start? Did he play this year?
He played a little bit, but he didn't play a lot.
Is
Not as
that
much as.
are you breaking news right now?
Nah, he entered the portal yesterday. Yeah, he entered the portal yesterday, but he's had.
Breaking news. We got a linebacker.
Yeah, he's a D lineman. I tell you his name because it's public news on the Carolina website. But his name is Kendrick Bingley Jr. Jones, and but yeah, he's in the portal and he just got an inbox from Shador Sanders saying, "Hey, you're a beast and we want you out here with us." And they ain't the only person that's been hitting them up. Other colleges been hitting them up, but yeah,
So you're breaking news, bro. Did you know that?
nah, that ain't breaking news. Most people around the area already know the answer to that question
Around
already.
the area, but that's breaking news.
Oh, okay.
Because all you gotta say is Carolina defensive lineman hit Shador up in his inbox, and
I
Shador
don't know.
made an invite to a D lineman from Carolina.
Yeah,
That's news.
yeah.
Say his
But
name one more time. Let me type it in the chat.
Kendrick Bingley Jones, number
K E
41 in
K E
Carolina.
N D R I C K, right?
Yep, yep,
And B Jones, you said?
yeah. Bingley Jones.
I'm just gonna say Kendrick B Jones.
Yeah, we call him KBJ, but
KBJ.
he was a 4-star D lineman coming out of Providence Day High School, and he had, like I said, Coach Sal Sincere was recruiting him when Sal was at Florida, and then
Uh-huh.
Sal took the job at Alabama, and then of course Sal left and went with Coach Prime this past year. But because like Sal Sincere been around for years, people don't realize how good Sal Sincere is. Sal was a tight end coach for the Panthers back when Ron Rivera first took over. So Sal been around for years. He's a great coach.
So you saw Sal Sinceri, right?
Yeah, Sal Sincere, the old man that be walking. He can't run, but he be walking when they be
Yeah.
doing. Yeah, that's Sal. Yeah,
Okay.
he's a great guy. If you get to meet him, he's the coolest guy you want to meet. The coolest guy you want to meet.
All right. So any final words you want to share with us on Coach Prom's grade or what you want the fan base
I'm
to
s-
chill?
I'm still sticking with my B, even though you getting on me. I'm still sticking with my B because the young man was working hard. He needed that 1 point for the B. I'm gonna give him the B. But I will say this: I expect more out of him next year, though. I do
Okay.
expect I do expect more out of him next year because now there's no curve. There's no forgiveness. He's got to get it done next year. You know what you messed up at. You lost games that were truly close. We need to see you make it happen this year. We
But do
got to
you
see it
believe
happen.
he will?
I think so. I think so because if nothing else, if he doesn't go get the D lineman and the offensive lineman, that's his fault. I wouldn't worry. Honestly, I don't think he should. If they come, let the skill guys come. But if it's me, everybody in that recruiting staff should be going out trying to find the best offensive and defensive linemen there is in the country and a couple linebackers. They don't need a whole bunch of secondary guys because they're loaded there. They don't need no running backs. They're loaded there. They don't need the receivers. They're loaded there. They do definitely going to need another quarterback. Whether they keep the kid that was a freshman this year, if he stays, as long as he don't go, or they need to get one more in there. But other than that, their main mission needs to be straight D and O line, and that's it. Damn everything else. If they want to win, that's all he needs. He needs to fix those positions. And like I say, he do need a stud linebacker. I do believe he needs a stud, at least one more stud linebacker.
And what do you think about
But
the edge? The rushers?
well, that's what I'm saying. D line, he got to redo that whole D line. He's got to get some. He
Oh,
got to
the
get
whole
some
line.
balance in it.
He got
Yeah,
to hold it. You said the whole line?
yeah. The D line, he needs he needs to get some more D linemen. That's edge rushers and interior guys, and he needs some and the offensive line. And there's a couple offensive guys I think he should keep. One or two. That one kid that's a freshman that's young, I think he should keep him. But
Keep him to kind of to groom him to make sure
yeah,
that
keep grooming because he's got talent. You see it, but he's young. Yeah, he's got talent, but he's young. But other
okay.
than that, yeah, he's got to figure out something with the. He's got to get more linemen, more offensive linemen and defensive linemen. If he don't, we don't want to hear no excuses next year about oh well this that no 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 no. We're giving you grace this year.
Well, I mean, but okay. I know I keep saying I'm going to let you go,
No,
but
you're good. You're good.
but it's like okay. So was he being stubborn this year? Because it seemed like if you know something's wrong, don't you try to make a change right away? So
I think
why
so. I
why
think
would
so.
it be? Why would it take so long? That's what puts in my head. I'm like, then I mean, he could have by the time people realized that he was one dimensional. Why did he make some of those changes? So what gives me the confidence that he's going to make some of those changes come next year? He can't. You're not going to stack your team with just good players and then continue your old bad habits and think you're going to that's going to win at this level. I don't think that's going to work. So where are you getting your confidence from? Because I lost confidence.
I didn't lose confidence in him because he, like I
Not in
said, he
him.
went.
No, let me clear it up. I didn't lose confidence in him.
No, no, I didn't.
Confidence in him changing something up. Like maybe I'm going to run more, but I lost confidence in the fact that he's going to change anything.
Right.
I think he's just trying to put better players to continue doing the same thing. That's what I think. But I lost confidence in the fact that he's going to change anything. I think he just wants better player so he can just keep doing what he's doing.
I, I I see where you're coming from with that. Ooh, I want to say I think he wants to win, and he wants to win badly to prove everybody wrong.
Like in a
So
dominant fashion, because there's
yes,
other ways that you can win
yeah, I
if
think
you.
he wants to He wants to dominate. Because if you look at his Jackson State teams, they dominated up until they got to the Celebration Bowl games.
But do you think that's possible at the league that he's in?
Well, going to the Big 12, yes. Have you looked at his schedule yet?
Yeah, we did that yesterday.
Okay, I missed the show. I'm sorry. If you look at the teams if you take those caliber teams that he's facing next year, based off what they did, what those teams did this year, I can see him winning 8 to 9 games next year, maybe even 10. If he gets the right offensive line in there
Uh-huh.
and get him a good OC, somebody that's going to run. He needs to be about a 60-40 ratio, 60% passing, 40% run, because I know he wants to throw because he's got to throw. He wants Shador to be able to show that he's going to be an NFL quarterback. Now, the question is going to be who the OC going to be, because everybody's got rumors of who coming and all.
So are you looking at the screen right now?
Yes. Go ahead.
Do you see what's on the screen?
Hold on.
That's the schedule.
Yeah, I see it right now. I see it.
Where do you see your wins at? I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, you're good. Based
Okay.
off of what we have right now,
Uh-huh.
and let's say the line improves somewhat better than it was this year. I see North Dakota State. I can see the Nebraska again.
You're giving a W on North Dakota State.
Yep. The first 3 games, I can see that.
Okay.
Baylor's a question. Baylor,
we're going to start off the same as we did last year.
I think
year.
so. I think
Okay.
so. We'll come out the gate with the first 3 wins.
Okay.
Baylor's a 50-50 game for me. Oklahoma State.
Which way you're leaning? Which way do you lean?
Shit. Because I'm trying to take my bias out of it. Baylor's a team.
Please take your bias off.
Baylor's a good team.
Do not bring that Mr. B. I'm giving him a B, guy. Not to this. Be real. Right. Let's give the fans something serious.
I can see him losing Baylor.
Okay.
And Oklahoma State.
So we got an L. We put an L on Baylor. We put an L. Okay.
Oklahoma State. Kansas State, it depends on what they got coming back this year. I heard
they're
senior heavy. They're senior heavy this year. They may lose a lot.
Kansas State is an L. I see an L.
You see L with Kansas? Okay.
Oh man.
I see him beat Cincinnati. He can beat Cincinnati.
That's a W. So let me see. That's 1, 2, 3. We got 4. We got 4 wins so far. You don't have 8 to go.
Well, I see Cincinnati and I see Kansas.
That's a W?
Yeah, I see them
you think we beat Kansas,
Yeah.
They're ranked.
No, but Kansas is losing aren't they losing their quarterback after this year? If I'm not mistaken.
I didn't do that research yet, but Kansas is currently after week number 12, Kansas is still ranked.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That might be an L. That might be an L.
I think that's an L, brethren.
Yeah, that might be an L. You might be right on that, brother. That might be an L right there.
Look on your screen. Kansas is 25. After week 12, Kansas is 27. Ranked 25.
Yeah, that's an L.
That's man. I'm saying Kansas is an L too.
Texas is a win though. They can get Texas Tech and they can get UCF.
Okay, so let's count it. We got 1, 2, 3. We lose Baylor. We lose Oklahoma State. Kansas State. I said that's a W. That's an L.
Yep.
So then we got
4.
That's 4,
5, 6.
5, 6. So that's a 6 win.
Okay. They don't have the same. Okay, so are they playing less games this year? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, they're playing 10 games. 8 and 4. Oh, okay. They played 12 this year.
Yeah, we played 12 this. So the Pac-12 is the 12 games.
Okay.
We got a question. It says, "Hey caller, he dominated swag because he had better players." Hold up, give me 1 second. Let me go back to this, okay?
Okay.
Let's hide that, and then we go back to the comments, and we're gonna post a comment. Yardman said he dominated swag. I'm not sure if you can see the comment, but because he had better players, he got outcoached in both celebration bowls from teams with lesser talent. Power 5 is getting good players, but you have to coach. So I guess they're kind of piggybacking on the earlier thing that we talked about.
I hear everybody said that. Everybody been saying that from day one that he dominated because he got better players. Here's my question.
Okay.
All them other coaches had the same opportunity to go out and recruit. It is not his fault that he went out the top tier guys and they didn't. Because one thing I know about HBC schools, before Prime even went, they didn't come to the high schools and go after the 5-star, 4-star kids. And I know that from being a high school coach. They didn't come. They would come get the lesser kids because they were like, oh, well, we probably ain't got no shot at that kid. And not realizing that kid might have had a parent or somebody who played at SBCU that they wouldn't mind going. But because they don't go after them because they're too scared or they don't want to waste their budget because they don't have that much of a budget. So you can't get mad at that man for doing something that you could have easily have done yourself. There's no rule saying, well, Coach Prime's the only one that can go to SEC and recruit 4 and 5 star kids. That's your
But
fault.
that still doesn't take away the concern, though.
No,
It's,
but I
it
think
still
with the
doesn't take away the argument.
I'm gonna be
He
honest
have
with
better players.
but with the Celebration Bowl for
Uh-huh.
me, I think he lost. I think they went into that Sun Gun too cocky. I think they went in there because they had blowed so many teams out and beat so
But
many
wait, didn't they
teams.
lose some players? They said there was some rumors that said that some of his players that could not play for some technical reason.
Yep. Now I think the last one was like that. The last Celebration Bowl game he played against North Carolina Central, he lost a couple kids because of grades or something went wrong. But at the end of the day, you got to play with who you got to play with. And if you're a good coach, you're a good coach. I always tell people this: when you think of Coach Prime, quit thinking of him like a Nick Saban. No, you have to look at him like a Nick Saban. Nick Saban coaches, he's great coaching DBs. Nick Saban don't coach nothing else. If you ever go to his clinics, he's always with the DBs and he walks around and checks his other coaches. And he coaches his coaches, but he does not coach every position. Dion was one of the best, is the best corner ever. If anything, the secondary is going to be on point because that's his position. But he's got to get coaches that can coach the other positions. And he should know that because hell, he played for Bobby Bowden. Bobby Bowden didn't go around coaching every position. Bobby was like an executive. What Bobby did was he just made sure all the other coaches coached. And if you look at the old Bobby Bowden staffs, I think 4 or 5 of his coaches end up being head coaches later on in life. That tells you how good of assistants he had. Same way with Nick. His assistants have all gone off to be good head coaches because of the way he stays on them and coach them. I think Coach Prime has got to do the same thing. I think he's got to go out and find the best coaches for each position that he can find, and he's going to have to pay them, which means he may have to take a pay cut. He's getting, what is it, per year, $5 million a year or something like that.
It's about to go up. That price better go up.
Oh
that,
yeah. We know.
that
Yeah,
amount
right.
better go up, or they ain't gonna keep him.
But let's say it does. Let's say that it goes up to $8 million. He already got money. Dion's worth over $120 million. You don't
Yeah.
need the whole 8. Why don't you take 6 and them other $2 million? You break it down to your other coaches so you can go out and get more top tier coaches. Cause that's what you need. If you look
But I
at
got a question
Kirby's,
for you though. I got
go
a
ahead.
question. The Nick Sabans, the what's the guy from Georgia? The
Kirby Smart.
Smarts. Now, have we seen them coach their way out of like the impossible situations, or are we gonna say they are like the New England Patriots coach, whose name I can't remember,
Belichick. That's my boy.
because of Brady, or Greg Popovich because of
Tim
because of
Duncan.
his teams, or a Miami or Spoelstra because of LeBron. Are we talking about really good coaches that have coached their way out of impossible situations, or are we talking about coaches that just inherited big school names and the recruiting pipeline, and they're looking good because they have the best players? Something that Coach Prime is trying to do.
That's a great question. I I would want to say that they're just really good coaches, but when you have some of the best talent in the country, you cannot put it all on coaching. When you got better talent than your opponents. I always when I look at coaches, high school or college, I always look at it like playing chess. Give me an even playing field. We got the same amount of kids, even across the board. And
Uh-huh.
now it should come down to X's and O's. Who can out coach who? Who can out scheme who? So when you like the playoffs, you were hoping you hope that when they go ahead and do the playoffs and stuff, the teams are matched up. They're even. Both teams are even. No team is one lopsided than the other, so that you can see how good they really are as coaches. I think when you look at it as a whole, I think Kirby Smart, Nick, even Dabo and all them guys, I think they're good coaches. But when you match them up against other people, I think the problem is they have better talent. Just like somebody just said a minute ago, Dion had better talent than everybody else in ABC schools. Okay, cool. But no one never was even with him to see, for you to see how good of a coach is he really. Because
So,
even when he,
so are you saying that he got exposed this year?
I think so. I think so. I think so. I think that So some of his coaches, or even him as a head coach, I think that hurt him. Now,
Oh, okay.
not saying he ain't gonna be a good coach, because the biggest knock everybody want to put is gonna put on Dion is you're so great that you can't coach. That's the knock everybody wants. Like Michael Jordan is, oh, he'll never be a great. Michael Jordan can never be a great coach because he's the greatest player ever, so he can't coach with a plum nickel. Well, come on. Yeah, he is the greatest. There's a reason why he's the greatest. But some guys are technically great and some guys are athletically great. You look at a person like a Steve Kerr, who was a decent basketball player, but he's a great coach in the NBA because he's technical. So he makes the Golden State look like they're a great flowing team because of the technician of stuff that they're trying to do, versus just living on pure athleticism. That's the sign of great coaching. I think that's what Dion's got to get to. Because I'm waiting to see how he does with Warren Sapp. I want to see what Warren Sapp brings to the table. I think Warren's going to help him a little bit with the D lineman, because
Uh,
Warren Sapp was great, but he was a technician too. People forget. So I think that's going to help him a little bit too.
But okay, so you think he's gonna like because Coach Prime is a technician as well. So
Yes.
so is that gonna help him? Is Warren
In the
Sapp
long
gonna
in the long run, I think it will. In the long run, I think that will help him being a technician, because he's such a fundamental guy. Yeah, I think in the long run it will help him, but I think he's got to hold his other coaches accountable to be exactly like he was. More technicians, and quit getting caught up on the kid's talent so well that don't you're not coaching the hell out of them. Travis Hunter's a great talent, but I could see times when Travis Hunter, when he got mossed and all that in the game against what was it,
with the
Stanford?
CSU?
Yeah, the Stanford game, when he got killed
Oh,
by that big receiver. They never changed anything, and I blame the coaches, the DC and the defensive back coach, because you could have done two things. You could have took him off and double teamed that big kid and put Travis on the number two receiver, which would have shut that all the way down. Or Travis could have played a different technique on that kid to keep that kid from getting with somebody over the top. Travis could have played underneath, and they could have put a safety over top, and that would have stopped it too. But they never made those adjustments.
but Michael
And
Irvin said Michael Irvin said that he made an analogy on his show, and
yeah,
he was like Coach Prime understood that he needed to put a guy in the slot and then let that guy just run free because then the slot guy's going to pick him up. He said
hmm
that's something that Coach Prime did to him to shut him down. And Coach Prime explained how he did it after the game. He said all we had to do was just play off of you, put somebody in the slot, and now you can pretty much smother yourself,
hmm
right? So, but
right.
Coach Prime never made that change, and he was like he was so perplexed how Coach Prime was able to articulate something like that and able
And
to do it in his own playing days, but he didn't make that adjustment. So the question becomes: Was is Coach Prime flustered on the sideline?
I think he is. I think he is. Personally, I think he is. I think he puts so much trust in these coaches
Yeah, like I'm
that
like
he, instead of just, and I'm not gonna say he's scared to step on somebody's feet, but I think he's trying to play it almost damn near political. Like,
he's
I'm
too
a
much of a nice guy. Like stop being a nice guy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like stop being nice, coach, and just take over, coach. You are the head coach because everything is going to rise and fall on your head.
that's it, that's it.
So just coach. Say stop. Okay, I know he's a relationship guy, so he
Yeah,
wants people to like him, and and people love him, right?
they
Because
love
of his
him.
personality. But it's like he is lovable. But sometimes I feel like Coach Prime, stop being a nice guy. You got to be able to just go in there and just coach.
That's it. And if you're not doing your job, the best thing I ever had, the best thing that ever happened to me in my life, I was coaching at Wellington High School with my best friend, a guy named Justin Harden.
Somebody wanted to ask what you did, but he's a coach, guys. He's a coach. We're talking to a
Yep.
coach. Go ahead. Coach in
Yeah,
Carolina.
I coach in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Go ahead.
But the best thing that ever happened to me, I was coaching with a best friend of mine. We went to high school together. His dad used to be our head coach. I messed up and didn't do something right, and he tore me a new butthole at practice.
Whew.
And so when we came off the field, we're going to the coaching room. He started apologizing, and I stopped him. I said, "Don't you stop?" I said, "Don't you apologize?" He said, "For what?" I said, "At the end of the day, they don't fire assistants; they fire head coaches." I said, "Only thing I need you to do coach me to be a better coach. And I think that's what Dion's got to look at. He's got to coach his guys to be a better coach. And if they can't take it, same way you treat your players. If they can't take it, get you another coach. Go find you another coach. Because I promise you, there's some coaches out there that would love to coach with Dion. They can coach their ass off. They just waiting for that opportunity.
Hmm.
But I
I'm
think,
just
like you
I'm just
said, I think
afraid
he's
of what
been
we
too
said
nice.
earlier. I'm just afraid of what we said earlier that I'm afraid that Coach Prime is trying to make up for other things by trying to put talent in the way. But I
Yeah.
just feel like we need to
No, that's what
hunker
he did.
down.
No, but that's what he did. He knew he couldn't go get no O lineman and D lineman. So his thinking was, if I get enough stud receivers and DBs
Oh
and
yeah,
running backs, maybe I can cover up the deficiency of what we don't have on the line, so that
yeah,
people can't see it. But he got exposed. He
yeah.
got
Because if
exposed.
if if those fast, because remember like in the preseason he was saying like we got some kids that can run out of the field, right?
Yeah,
That
he
can
said I
run
got
and
kids
jump
that
out of the field and they can go get it.
right. He said I got kids
So
that take it to the house. I got all these receivers that
yeah,
they any of them can take it to the house in a mere catch. But
right. So he was thinking that if y'all can run fast enough and just get open, Shador's gonna find y'all and we'll be good. That's what they did at Jackson State, I believe.
yep,
Right? And
that's
then
exactly what they did.
when the defensive coordinator started to figure out what they were doing and stopped it, it was like, oh dang, where do we go now?
Yep, that's
So I'm
it. And that,
I'm hoping that because I don't want to lose my faith because my a lot of the trust that I had was the fact that they were going to make that Coach Prime was going to coach because I remember being like as a Washington Commanders fan back in the day when they were Washington Redskins.
mhm.
I remember when Dan Snyder put all of those, including Coach Prime, put all
Oh
of those
yeah, when he
stars.
spent all that money on
Yeah,
them, yes,
when he
he
put
spent
all
like
those people on it and we still didn't win. I'm like,
cause
what in the world? So there's some things you can't cover with just getting all of the talent in the world. So I'm really hoping in the back of my mind, I'm like, Lord,
he
I pray that Coach Prime is not trying to cover
he
up some things with talent. Please,
that's
like,
what I think that's what he was doing. He was covering up for what he didn't have because he couldn't go get what he need. But
and I
that's why he
also
made.
and I
But
don't
that's
want him
why
to
he
do that same thing. I don't want him to
no.
do it.
I don't think he will. But I think that is why he made the statement that he made when he said, "I would love to see what the stats are on the teams that are in the playoff hunt. How much money did they spend? How much did they have to swipe their credit card? Because they had to." Because what he found out, I think what he found out is the only way I'm gonna get some linemen in here, because linemen are very rare. It's because a lot of kids don't play line. Like I said, you got kids in high school that don't want to be on the line, even though they're linemen. You got them. You got a lot of kids that just don't want to be on the line because it's not a glorified spot. So when you got that going on, it's very you think about it like this: 100 and what is it? 118 Division One schools. Let's say there's only 1,000 true offensive linemen out there.
Uh-huh.
Every team needs at least 10. Well, that means you ain't got enough for 118 Division One schools. Somebody ain't getting some.
Right.
So now,
And some of those people are legacy teams or
there you
legacy
go.
schools that they got the budget and
The
they can
they
they're going to get their guy. So what's
that's it.
left?
So now you're looking at when you look at teams like that, and you're talking about a brand new program or a rebuilding program like Colorado is. Now what you're sitting back saying to yourself is, okay, these schools are Kirby Smart and them. They just made it legal now for them to give the bag out, like Dion said. Cause back in the day, they've always given out the bag. Cause I've
Okay.
seen it. Being a high school coach, I've seen schools give out money to kids and stuff. I ain't gonna name no schools, but just back in the day, they've done it.
Right.
So when you look at it like that, they're giving these kids hundreds of thousands of dollars to come play line for them. And if you ain't got no money to shell out, you're not gonna get them top tier guys. You're
Right.
just not. So that's why he said he needs some help. He needs the boosters and everybody to donate to their 504 or 524 fundraising thing, because he knows in order to get these linemen, I'm gonna have to spend some money. I'm gonna
Right.
have to spend some money. And see, the NCAA won't let him use his own money because that's illegal. Because I promise you, if he can use his own money, he probably could. Now I tell you what he should do. He need to call some of them wealthy friends he got and get them to donate. Because he knows enough people, just like he did when he was at Jackson State. When he had Walmart come in and do the field, you tell me you can't call up your buddies at Walmart, who now owns the Denver Broncos, which is down the street from you, and ask them, hey, can y'all donate $10 million to our
I believe he's
NIL.
already doing that though. I think Coach Prime is always going to be trying to win. So because he's such a natural winner, the
Mhm.
embarrassment that he's just gone through, where he put a lot of his, he was putting pretty much his prime bravado out on the line and didn't
Mhm.
get the results. I don't see anywhere on the God's green earth where Coach Prime wants to feel that embarrassment again.
Oh
I
no, he
think he's
won't.
calling everybody.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah.
he's going to empty the
He
clip.
got to. He got to. Cause, because I tell you what, the only thing that made me mad that he had to give up. I hate that he had to give up his Under Armour contract. I hate that he did that. I know he had to because
Yeah, he
CU
could. Yeah, CU was not letting
is a
go of
Nike.
Nike.
Yeah, they're a Nike school. But if he hadn't had to give that up, oh, I know that guy from Under Armour because way he talked about, and they were such good friends. That guy would have put some money in that program for him. But that man can't donate money to CU with CU being a Nike school. They don't even look right. So that kills one of his boosters people right there for him. You know, because look at how he did Jet State Autumn uniforms and money and everything he did for Jet State. They were feeding them, putting them in hotels. That was that Under Armour. The CEO for Under Armour helped do a lot of that stuff for him.
But
Cause
Boulder is such a rich city, and
yeah,
CU is
there's
such a,
money.
yeah. They have such a great like alumni base with money. The people that graduate from CU, they go off and they work in America and they make good money. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a
Yes, sir.
PWI. They're saying,
Yes, sir.
like white people, they make more money than the white man makes more money than everybody else. Okay, so when you have a predominantly white school, these people are in the workforce and making $2 over the $1 that everybody else is making. So they got money. You see what I'm saying? They got the money. They just need to like instill more confidence in that base to give it up. I think that's all.
Right.
I don't think CU don't have money. I think CU got money. They just need to just do whatever it takes to get them to give it up. Because I think they're still reeling from that whole midnight mail situation. I don't know if you
Yes.
remember the story. I think they're still
I
reeling
don't.
from that.
I've been wanting. I've been meaning to go look it up, but I don't know what happened with that. But
Bruh, I did a whole video on it. It's on my page. Listen,
okay.
I'll give you the quick breakdown. They were in meetings in one of the country clubs in downtown Denver, right?
Um.
And these boosters were so happy that the season prior he had won at least five games. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
they're all excited about one of Nick Saban's assistants coming to save them, right?
Yeah. Of course.
And here it goes. He's in the booster meetings. These guys are ready to write heavy checks. They're giving up money and being like, and they're looking at him in his eye, in his eyes, and saying, "Man, you ready for the season next year?" And they're ready to write checks while Rick George is, working the room and putting him on a pedestal. This guy had a contract with Michigan State already signed the same time at the same time
Whoa.
while he was in that booster meetings
That
and
is shady.
telling the people, yes, I'm with you. Yes, we're coming back next year. We're gonna do it. As soon as he leaves that meeting, dude, the same time, word comes out that he's announced the next coach of the Michigan State Wolverines. I think that's the Wolverines, right?
No
And he's
Spartans, but I got you though.
Spartans.
It's
Sorry,
yeah,
it's the
Spartans. You
Michigan
good?
Wolverines.
You good?
Yeah, that he's the next coach, and
Oh,
he's
that's
on a jet.
dirty.
He's on a jet, and he gives a speech and says, "Go green." I'm telling you, you can't make
That's
this is straight
that's
Hollywood stuff.
that's why his butt's in trouble now. Karma is
Dude,
a
I'm
mother.
telling you. That's why I think like the boosters are very skeptical because they don't
Yeah,
trust they don't know if Coach Prime is gonna stick around. They,
yeah, yeah,
especially
yeah.
when other people are in their ear telling Coach Prime is not gonna stay here. Everybody's saying Coach Prime is not gonna stay here. I feel like they're scared. Those people
Yes,
got
that
money,
makes
but
sense. That makes sense. Yeah, you
they don't
making
want
sense,
to give it
bro.
up.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cause I wouldn't want to give it up if I don't
Right.
had one coach run out, and now here's another coach that we know easily can go anywhere now because he's doing the things he's doing, the amount of money that he's brought to the economy. But
They're
I
being
don't think
more
they got.
conservative. They are
I
being
think
more conservative this time around. They're like, we
yeah,
got burnt by Midnight Mel. We don't know about
yeah,
this Dion. He seemed like a car
but
salesman. We don't know. We
but
don't know. So
here's my question though. Do they really need to be conservative for the fact that look at how much money he boosted the Colorado economy?
These are money people we talking about. They think different. They don't
Well,
think
that's
like
true.
us.
That's true. That's
They
true.
think with their
Cause
pocketbooks. They're not
yeah,
thinking like they're not
listen.
excited like us.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Cause I'm
They-
I'm over here sending emails to David Tapper now for the Panthers for firing Frank Wright. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm gonna need you to slow down, slow your roll. You fired 3 coaches in the last 4 years, bro.
right.
Jeez.
So
So
these
yeah,
money
you're right.
money
You're
people
right.
think with their pocketbook. They don't think with feelings or they're so emotional. They're not out there so giddy like like a lot of us are. They're not
I,
all fawning over
I
Coach
think
Prime. So
I think I think one thing Coach Prime needs to do, personally, I think he needs to do. He's always been a man of his word. I think he
right,
needs to just go ahead and come out and say, listen, I plan to be here X amount of years, 2 years or 3 years. After that, I don't know. But right now, I plan to be here for the next, at least for the next 2 or 3 years, to give them some reassurance. Because that's what everybody's waiting for. They're like, oh, once Shador and Shiloh gone, he's gone. Well, his baby girl's still gonna be there. She can't go nowhere.
right.
So if anything, he's gonna stay at least till she graduate. I will think. I don't see him leaving before her. And then my thing is
I
because
don't see
everybody
Coach
was,
Prime leaving until he wins. That's
that's
just
what I'm
me.
thinking. Yeah, because he doesn't like losing. And then my other thing, the thing I look at is,
He
where
don't
would
like
you
to be
go?
embarrassed like that. Coach Prime was
Right.
embarrassed. I
But here's the
promise you.
question though. Here's the question: where would you go? Because one thing about Coach Prime, he's his own made man.
Right.
He ain't going no Alabama. He ain't finna go no Georgia or no Clemson. The teams have already been winning. He ain't
Bro,
going to
he
one
will
of them
go to
schools.
Africa to coach before he does anything. Before he
Yes,
does that.
because if he does that, it's like saying, "Oh, you just running to go get a you're just chasing rings now. You're not really a coach. You're just chasing rings because
Exactly.
those programs are established." So my thing, I tell all my friends, 'cause they like, I have one buddy that thinks he's going to Alabama. I said he'll never go to Alabama because Nick Saban's there. Why would you go to Alabama and follow Nick Saban's steps and you're your own man? So
Right.
Colorado is the perfect spot for him. The only other school I could see him going to, personally, would be Florida State, because that's the school he played at.
Right.
But Norvell ain't sucking right now, so
Right.
they're not gonna get rid of him anytime soon. They're not gonna get rid of Norvell just to be getting rid of him, just to get Coach Prime, because Prime got to show he can win. Now, if Prime wins a championship in Colorado before Norvell wins one at Florida State,
Oh,
now they might call him and say, hey, come on home. But right now, I just don't see it. I don't see that
yeah. It's,
happening.
it's not happening. It's not
Yeah,
man. This has been a great conversation, man.
man, absolutely, brother, absolutely. We say my email. We'll talk anytime you want to, bro. I love your show. Like I
Thank
said,
you.
I'm a diehard, uh, a diehard Colorado fan. Like I said, I used to ride with the Tide, but old Nick made me mad. He did too much.
Okay.
He did too much. When he made that comment about them paying Hunter to come to Jackson State, he pissed me off. I said, yeah, I can't roll with you no more, bro.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
No, you keep the email because anytime you see the show is here and be like,
Okay.
"Yo, Harry B, I'm calling in," okay? And then you
I
just
sure will.
you just email me, and then I'll send you the link, and then we can come back and chat. But you are a coach. You have valuable information. You brought so much to the show today. I appreciate you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome, my brother.
Oh, I'm
You're
sorry, I
welcome.
didn't
I
get your
appreciate
name.
you.
Start say your name, please.
Well,
Oh,
on
Antonio.
my yeah, it's Antonio, but I go by Tony, but it's
Tony.
Antonio McKinney. Yep.
All right, cool. All
Coach
right, Tony.
Coach McKinney.
Coach McKinney.
Yep.
Coach McKinney, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
I appreciate you, my man. You have a great day.
You do the same. Take care.
All right. All right.
Bye bye. So there you have it, guys. Today's show was very informative, man. We got a lot done. We were in the chat. It got a little sticky in the chat. Unfortunately, I couldn't really monitor the chat and really, you know what I'm saying, make sure that the temperature in the chat was what it needed to be because I had a guest, Coach McKinney, that was on here talking. But I just want to let everybody know, listen, man, let's be respectful to each other. Don't try to shame anyone's knowledge. Hey, you don't know this. You're not about this life. You don't know this. Let's just be respectful of each other. Whether people know something or they don't know something, once you know that and you try to expose that, what does it really do for you? There's nothing that it really does for you. It's just a notch under your belt, or you walk away feeling good about yourself that you just shamed somebody or you just said something to hurt somebody's feelings. And if that makes you feel good to either hurt somebody's feelings or make it feel like you did something to somebody, I don't know what type of person that is that you are trying to be. If that makes you feel better that you said something to hurt somebody's feelings. Unfortunately, I couldn't. I know that we had a couple of people that was talking in the chat that were that were saying some stuff, and it probably got personal. I just want to say I apologize that I could not really intervene because I didn't want to be rude to my guests. You guys were guests as well, but I had a live guest. But I just want everybody to know that on TLP Sports Club, I create a safe environment for all of us to talk about Coach Prime and the Buffs, and to have some college football talk. We just had a great conversation, college football conversation. We come live so that we can share our views, whatever's on our minds. I give an opportunity for everybody to come here and share something. Please don't shame anybody. Please stop trying to make yourself feel like you're a little bit more knowledgeable. Even if you play the game, it's okay. Know your knowledge, make your points without having to put anybody else down, so that we can all at least share. Because there are people here that never watched college football before, and I want them to feel comfortable to say what they want to say, to share in the experience, to you know what I'm saying, to just learn the game, because we can learn a lot from the comments, from the chat. We can learn a lot, and then when people come on and they share knowledge, everybody's learning at the same time. I don't know all about this college football thing. I know about football, but I don't know all about the college football thing. So sometimes I stumble, sometimes I make mistakes. Like yesterday, my guy, he was correcting me, and I still correct it. But do it in a way of love. If you know something that somebody else doesn't know, try to do it in a way where you're not trying to shame somebody so you can feel better. Don't put anybody down. Let's do like Coach Prime, the same guy that we are here talking about. He does the same thing. He does things in love. He doesn't put anybody else down in order for him to stand up. So let's remember that always. Don't shame anybody so that you can feel better. Because if that's the case, if that's what you're doing, then I want to know what side of the bed you woke up on. How do you go through your day trying to shame somebody so that you can feel better about yourself? It doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm trying to create an environment where we can all have fun. We can enjoy this talk about football. We can enjoy the experience that we all having. Because Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffs are the hottest thing spinning. They're always going to be the hottest thing spinning. We're going to talk about them. Even on tomorrow's show, I got a good show for you tomorrow. This was a good show. It was a success. This is our third day. We've been streaming 3 days live, okay? I'm going to do another show. It's going to be at night. I got to figure out how I'm going to do this. But this is TLP Sports Club, okay? This is TLP at noon, okay? Live at noon. So thanks, everybody, for chiming in. Guthrie, Armand Guthrie, is the 5430 collective for CU football, for CU football. I'm not sure if you're just joining the community, if you're just joining the chat, but Armand Guthrie, thank you for coming in. KMS, you've been here 3 days straight. The salute to you. Just being myself, I believe you've been here 3 days straight. Salute to you as well. Yardman, you're a regular man. Bo, 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 you are a regular. Okay. Panda Bear, you was here yesterday. Panda Bear, you was here yesterday. We were supposed to chat, but you couldn't come on today. Thank you for being a part of the chat. Thank you for being a part of the stream. Yo, man, thank you, Ken B. Thank you for saying it's a great show. We did have a great show today. Okay, I'm not just saying it. I know the temperature of the show. If it's not going well, if people are not really having inputs, and think, yeah, you're like, yeah, this was not a good show. Okay, but 3 days in a row, we've had a good show. We have great discussions. All right, we started off by I thank you, Cav. Oh yeah, man, did I just forget about Cav? Prediction: new offensive coordinator Byron Leftwich. He's coming. My God, yo, East Coast Cav. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat, man. Listen, we're gonna talk more about those things. Mr. Seven, I've seen you a couple of times. I don't know if you was here. You were here all 3 days of the new show, but you've been in here. I thank you so much. More power to you. Thank you so much, man. Listen, if we can keep it respectful, I will keep doing this show. I hope I am definitely giving you a good show so that we're not just here wasting time on YouTube. Okay? I appreciate you. We went a little bit over time today because my guests, we were vibing. Whenever we vibe, I'll let it go. But we're supposed to end at 3 o'clock. It is 3:11 East Coast time right now. Wherever you are on the West Coast, wherever you are, Coach Prime is going to get it together. You best believe. If anybody questions my loyalty for Coach Prime, don't worry about it. I'm a fan. I'm BWB. I'm bandwagon Buffs. I'm a Coach Prime guy. But I reserve the I reserve some rights to be able to be critical for the fan base, but constructive criticism can move the needle down the road. So it's not like I'm just a yes man just saying he can't do no wrong. That's not what this is about. All right, guys. I'm just trying to have a good talk show, guys. And it's hard to do that just being one sided. All right. Thank you so much for joining the show today, guys. You know who I am. Yardman, Mr. Seven, Ken B, what up? East Coast Calf. You know who I am. I'm Harry B. And that right there was the Liberian Perspective. That's TLP Sports Club. I will see you tomorrow at 12 o'clock noon. See you tomorrow, guys. I appreciate you, Erica Ransom. Erica, that was for you. I'm sorry that I didn't have time to address the issues that was going on in the comments. Please forgive me. Next time I will have to stop the guest to say, hey man, let's cool it. Let's calm down. But I thank you for being strong and standing your ground. I know you was fighting. I was reading the comments. You was fighting. You gave it a good fight. So thank you for fighting and thank you for staying on the show. I think he apologized. He apologized at some point, and I put it on the screen. But I didn't want you. I don't want my guests to feel some kind of way to have that bad vibe in the chat. But we had a good time today. I hope you agree. Thank you for being with me. Thank you, Erica. Thank you for saying no worries. Thank you so much. I will see you guys I will see you guys tomorrow at noon. All right. And whatever time you log in, whether it's hour number 1, hour number 2, or number 3, we will be on for 3 hours. And I'm trying to find a way to do a nightly show where everybody's off work and I can get more people to come on screen or to come on and join the show. All right. Remember to please take down the email, hot tips for tlpsports@gmail.com. Okay. Bless up, my guys. Peace, guys. I'm out. TLP Sports Club. Brah. Peace.